Wow. Lucas stall out them pint bottles out Granny crib. I poured so much I ain't wanna live. Told money then, shit we in the wind. I was in the hood when I clipped the bin. Since a young nigga I been ready. Went glass house on every Chevy. In this game I tried plenty settings. It's all or nothing how niggas been. Got sucker niggas, keep suckers with them. One of the reasons I ain't fucking with them. Trish Tech and some more than her. Guess she couldn't even afford a winner. I'm open late, don't need a scale. And it's always over, sneak wishing well. I double down, slick shit to spell. Shot it, no, I don't kiss and tell. I'm faded. I'm faded. Hell, I'm faded. I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still feel like it was yesterday. I was moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spend the night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Cover bag, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean. Temporary feelings mixed with temporary pleasures. All these temporary moments and these temporary treasures. Temporary circumstances to temporary measures. Temporary friends and even temporary schedules. Temporary smiles and temporary goals. Temporary women sliding on temporary poles. Temporary comments and temporary trolls. I just pray that God bless me. Ain't no temporary souls. I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still feel like it was yesterday. I was moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spend some night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean.
What we doing tonight, chat? Y'all locked, man? Double tap the screen, shut the live out. What we doing tonight, chat? Y'all locked or what, man? Are y'all locked or what, chat?
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
That's what I'm talking about.
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Oh, man. Double tap the screen, shut the live out. What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap the screen, shut the live out. What we doing tonight, chat? We got an action-packed episode, man. It's happening. They're attacking our rights, man. We got India and the EU having a trade deal, and we got Trump speaking on what happened in Minnesota. He did a full sit-down chat. We got an action-packed episode. Double tap the screen, shut the live out, call your auntie, uncle, and your cousin, tell them plug live, and he running his mouth. I don't care if you far left, far right, liberal, conservative, Marxist, fascist, alien, NPC, get your ass in. We finna have some conversations tonight, man. All right, chat, we got an action-packed episode, man. We're gonna go over, Minnesota State Police test the LRAD on terrorists. They're calling them terrorists, man. Allegedly, there were protesters out there and they used the sonic waves, man. They used the sonic waves. They're saying that's a violation of the 4th and 14th Amendment, I believe. We're going to get into that. Also, this guy above is going to talk about it. Also, they're saying Ilhan Omar was doing a town hall. We might get into that town hall if we have time, but they said she was, somebody came up and sprayed her with some sort of stream of liquid. I don't know what the hell's going on. Looked like Ilhan Omar wanted to run up on his ass. I'm not gonna lie. Also, Nick Sorter is reporting that Border Patrol agents in Minnesota said they've been given new orders to not arrest non-criminal illegal immigrants. So if they do a license plate check and they see that you are illegal, as long as you're not a criminal, they're supposed to let you go. Told y'all, man. Tim Walz made that call to Tom Homan, give a little bit, get a little bit, man. Also, Candace Owens released a recording of Erica Kirk from just 11 days after the Charlie Kirk murder, and they're saying that she was spouting and giggling and talking about how much money they made and all of that. We'll get into that as well. Border Patrol in Arizona also shot another suspect that was supposedly involved in a smuggling operation, so we'll get into that. Border Patrol in Arizona shot a person suspected of smuggling. Trump did a sit down today with Fox talking about Renee Good and Alex Pretty. I also seen a clip of Trump saying you just can't carry the gun, you just can't carry it in there. What the fuck is Trump talking about, man? Like, what, bruh? What the fuck is Trump talking about? I'm just gonna be honest, chat. Also, they are reporting that 2 officers did fire their weapons during the Pretty shooting. They're saying 2 officers did fire their weapons, so that has been confirmed. Before, I was telling you guys that I seen initially it looked like 2 officers, but when Bovino was speaking on it, he only made it seem like it was 1 officer. But like I said, I initially believed it was 2. Also, we got Kristi Noem saying that they're gonna she's vowing to hunt down people threatening ICE families. Chat, we got an action-packed episode. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. I hope everybody's having a great night, whether you just now tuning in or you've been watching since the beginning of the show, laying in your bed looking around, man. I hope everybody's having a great night. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, and we're finna get into it, man. We finna get into it.
ICE just used an L.
Oh my gosh, chat. Oh, they messed up the audio, chat. Give me 1 second. I'm finna have to come right back. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. Alright, chat, press 1 if we back, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, chat. Let me know if I am back, man. I gotta know if I'm back right now or not, chat. I don't know, man. Let's see. Let's see if we are back, man. Where's my chat at? Where's my chat at? Are we back? We locked in, chat? Alright, chat. I think we are back. Alright, man. We are back, man. Here we go, man. Let's listen to this guy talking about what happened, and then I'll show y'all the video.
No, non-combatants. ICE just used an LRAD on citizens. An LRAD. We point those at fucking ships and disable them. That's a fucking war crime on U.S. citizens. They use an acoustic device to disperse a fucking crowd. They use an LRAD. It makes your brain feel like it's fucking shattering. In fact, we point them at other ships on the ocean and fire the LRAD at the ship to disable them. To render them unable to fucking function as humans. Using it on, non-combatants is a war crime. In a war, in an active fucking war against another country, if you use that on people, war crime. But we're using it here, on citizens.
They said it was coming, chat. Here goes a video of them allegedly using this LRAD. Here goes the video of them using the LRAD. What the hell is going on?
This is a test of the long-range acoustic device LRAD. 1, 2, 3.
Man, that probably was scary. They're saying that a 2021 federal appeals court decision ruled LRAD excessive force against nonviolent crowds due to hearing damage risk, violating the First and 14th Amendment. So they're saying that those violate the First or 14th Amendment due to hearing damage risk, chat. Due to hearing damage risk. They're saying that this can cause permanent hearing damage. I don't know, chat. I don't know. I don't even know how to feel about them using that shit, bro. I'm sure it'll go to court. I am sure it will go to court. Alright, chat. So we're gonna watch this clip of Ilhan Omar. This just happened. This is kind of breaking within the last couple hours. She got spat on, man. Somebody spit on Ilhan Omar. Oh, I ain't gonna say spit. Sprayed something on her. It looks like a stream of spit, though. The hell is this? Bro, what the hell is going on with my damn internet?
Resign or face impeachment. Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
I don't know what the fuck he sprayed on her, but she said Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment, and then he sprayed something on the chat. Where the fuck did that spray come from? I'm not even seeing where he sprayed it from.
Face impeachment.
Okay, it's in this hand. It's in the hand that he's pointing with. So whatever he sprayed is in the hand he's pointing with.
Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Oh, she almost hit him. She bowed up her hand. She raised her fist. Okay. What is going on, chat? Hold on, man. What the hell is going on, man? I can't believe she wound up that little fist like that. Alright, here we go. We just gonna have to rock out like that for a minute, man. Look at her wind up the fist, though, man. Ooh, she was finna jab him.
I don't know. I need a napkin to know nothing. We will continue. These fucking assholes are not going to get away with it.
Oh, she wanted to keep going.
Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. I don't know. I need a napkin to know nothing. We will continue. These fucking assholes are not going to get away with it.
Alright, so that's what happened to Ilhan Omar. Chat, do y'all think that representatives do need that extra $203 million for security for them and their families? That's what they're proposing, an extra $203 million for security of these politicians and their family members. Do they need security to the tune of $250 million? Why is... Alright, there it goes. Alright, chat, we finna get into this right here. This is Nick Sorter saying that he has confirmation that non-criminal illegal immigrants will not be picked up any longer in Minnesota.
Unfortunately, been hearing this morning is that Border Patrol agents have now been given new orders not to, for example, if they were to run a license plate and it comes back as that person is an illegal that Border Patrol was forced to let into the country under Joe Biden, they are no longer allowed to arrest that person.
And is this
even
the first
though they know for a fact it's illegal.
Is this new information that you're just bringing to light right now? That these new orders? Okay. And I don't want you to reveal your sources, but you have someone who you trust on this. You believe this is a matter of official, actual approach and policy now.
This actually came from two Border Patrol agents, two separate Border Patrol agents on the ground in Minnesota. They're very, very frustrated Obviously, they feel like one of them actually said that this feels like we just reverted to the Biden days. One of the stories that I've unfortunately been hearing this morning is that Border Patrol agents have now been given new orders.
Crazy, Chad. So they're not gonna go get you, man. If you're not a criminal, if you don't have any charges, anything, you'll be all right, Chad. So we're gonna move on. This right here is Candace Owens. Candace Owens released this earlier today on her show. This is allegedly a recording of Erica Kirk 11 days after the Charlie Kirk assassination. This is Erica 11 days after the Charlie Kirk assassination.
I still love all these emoji Zoom things. Wow. I don't even know where to begin. The fact that we were able to pull off an event of the century, like, it's just insane. We had over 275,000 people that attended, and stadium, overflow, Westgate, insane, you guys. And then you have, is it 100 million? You guys that heard the gospel and all about Charlie and all about everything that you guys do and the hard work of Turning Point USA is insane. We had thousands that were registered to vote. I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy. But I just wanted to say a huge thank you to the events team, the development team, the graphic design team, the production team. Just phenomenal. Their incredible work of leading into the memorial. And honestly, a lot of this staff that worked on the memorial, they had 20-hour days for a week during the time of us grieving the loss of my husband. And honestly, I know several staff that didn't even sleep. Again, you guys are breathing angels, and I'm so grateful for all of you. And obviously a huge thank you to the Mosaic team. VI, you guys are 10 out of 10. Like, we have the most incredible team. We just do. And you guys know that, and you guys are all a part of that, and I am so thankful. And if you do have a moment and you run into any of those staff members that you know had a role in this, and you know that they put a lot of their time and effort into it, just say thank you. There's something really special to be seen in moments like this, and it's not easy. I am speaking from experience. I'm right in the trenches with you guys. And so the fact that you just, a simple thank you. I don't care if any of you have beef with each other from the past or have any issues with someone said something about this or that. Like, if you guys have any of that, please put it to rest. My husband's dead. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead. And it puts life in perspective of how short life is and relationships, and God puts people in your life for a reason, and it teaches you a lesson, it teaches them a lesson. So if you are going through a time where, just lay it to rest, and we are moving forward, Turning Point USA 2.0 with Charlie in our hearts, and that's what he would want.
All right, Chad, how do y'all feel about that, man? A lot of people are upset saying that she's not grieving. She sounds happy. She's more worried about keeping the money rolling. Now, me personally, I don't care how she grieves. It is what it is. Some people are just, not as emotional as others. Now, her husband was murdered in front of the world in a different way. So, people have the right to their opinions, All right, let's get into the news, chat. Let's get into the news, man. This is a clip where they're talking about two agents shot their guns when Alex Pretty was unalive. Two agents shot their guns. This is just now released today.
This past Saturday, according to an initial report to Congress from the Department of Homeland Security and reviewed by CNN, a report that also says that they attempted to take him into custody. So let me walk you through this. This is the report from Customs and Border Protection's initial investigation into the shooting of Preddy. It says that an officer yelled, quote, "He's got a gun," multiple times before two officers fired as that struggle ensued that we have seen in videos. And I'm going to quote here from the report. It says, quote, "CBP personnel attempted to take Preddy into custody. Preddy resisted CBP personnel's efforts and a struggle ensued." It goes.
What up, Top Cat? What up, Top Cat? Y'all double tap the screen, shut the live out. We're gonna have to get past that shadow, man. I know they're not gonna like some of the clips we played earlier, so I need y'all to double tap the screen or go to the top of the screen and hit the like button. Also, drop some comments. Let me know that y'all in here. Say good night. Say what's up. Say how you doing. Let's hit the algorithm, man. We shadow banned right now because I'm playing these clips, man. This is the woman breaking down the official incident report. They're saying that he resisted arrest. We know that he was pepper sprayed. So are they saying before or after he was pepper sprayed and slung to the ground did he resist arrest?
Personnel attempted to take Preddy into custody. Preddy resisted CBP personnel's efforts and a struggle ensued. It goes on to say, quote, "During the struggle, a Border Patrol agent yelled, 'He's got a gun,' multiple times. Approximately 5 seconds later, a Border Patrol agent discharged his CBP-issued Glock 19, and a Customs and Border Protection officer also discharged his CBP-issued Glock 47 at Preddy. What it does not specifically say is whether the bullets fired from these..."
So they were carrying Glocks. So now, this is the difference. I guess ICE might carry the SIGs. One of those groups carries SIGs. But I was thinking, like, shouldn't they be carrying Glocks? But everybody told me, no, they carrying SIGs. So I assumed that they carried SIGs as well. Makes a lot more sense that they have Glocks. Probably Gen 4s. What did she say kind of Glock that she said he had?
Is whether the bullets fired from these law enforcement
No, he said one of them was a Gen 5, I heard.
Hit Preddy. Now, it also gives us a little bit about what happened afterwards. This report, again, provided to lawmaker 7 at Preddy. What it does not specify, and a Customs and Border Protection officer also discharged his CBP-issued. A Border Patrol agent discharged his CBP-issued Glock 19, and a Customs and Border Protection.
So he had a 19. Like what? Okay, he had a 19.
An officer also discharged his CBP-issued Glock 47 at Preddy. What it does not specifically say is whether the bullets fired from these law enforcement officers hit Preddy. Now, it also gives us a little bit about what happened afterwards. This report, again...
It wasn't no motherfucking revolver, for sure. It wasn't no revolver, MDMA.
Provided to lawmakers as after the shooting, and I'm quoting here, a Border Patrol agent advised he had...
What's up, Big Niche? What's up, Lowry?
The BPA subsequently cleared and secured that firearm in his vehicle. Goes on to say that the personnel, quote, cut Preddy's clothing and provided medical aid to him by...
Why are they not saying the SIG went off? Why are they not saying if the SIG went off or not?
Placing chest seals on his wounds. Now, of course, Jake, as you know, there would be an internal review, and we're getting some of it within the Customs and Border Protection Agency. Those were the officers involved in this shooting. The Department of Homeland Security is leading the investigation, the FBI, in a supportive role, but we are now learning new details in this initial report from the Department of Homeland Security that went to Congress. But of course, this is still an ongoing investigation. Jake?
CNN is also now learning that about a week before his death, Preddy suffered a broken rib.
Oh, the nurses in Chicago also held a memorial for Alex Preddy today. So this stretched from Minnesota all the way to the nurses in Chicago. Also, he had American flag draped over him when they, took him through the final ride through the hospital he worked at.
When a group of federal officers tackled him while he was protesting their attempt to detain other individuals. CNN's Priscilla Alvarez has the breaking details on this. Priscilla, what have you learned?
Well, according to sources who spoke with me and my colleague Jeff Winter, we're learning about this encounter that Preddy had with federal agents a week prior to his death. Now, we've learned more about what occurred over this incident, and we're told by sources that he had stopped his car when he saw ICE agents chasing what he described to sources as a family and began shouting and blowing his whistle.
So, where the fuck is the protest? Everybody said, oh, you can't carry your gun to a damn protest. Well, move the goalposts, motherfuckers. Move the goalposts. Go ahead and say you can't have it and interfere or so, because there wasn't a fucking protest, and you actually can take your gun to a protest. So move the goalposts, motherfuckers. They said that he pulled up on the side of the road because he seen a family. That's what the hell he did, and he started recording, man. So yes, he got his fucking firearm. He was nowhere inside of anywhere with no firearms allowed posted, man. He was on a public street. That man could have his firearm, 3 clips, 4 clips, 1,000 clips if he fucking wanted to, man. It is what it is.
Incident, he was then tackled by 5 agents, and one of them leaned on his back. That left him with a broken rib. This is according to the sources we've spoken with. And one of the sources said, quote, that day he thought he was going to die. Now, Preddy was later given medication consistent with a broken rib, according to records that we have reviewed here at CNN. So this tells us that there was an incident that happened prior to Saturday. We are also aware that federal immigration officers are collecting personal information of protesters and agitators that they interact with. Now, federal law enforcement appears to have known about Preddy prior to Saturday.
Now, I'm just saying, it couldn't have been a protest because it was like 8 people on the fucking street. That was the first thing I said when I seen it. How the fuck is it a protest with 8 people? I seen like 6 or 7 agents there, and then I seen like 8 people on the fucking street. It looks like people were going to get their morning fucking breakfast sandwich or something, man. Like, let's be honest. They were about, like, let's be honest. A protest, bro? Where are the picket signs, man? Motherfucker, yes, they had a signal group. Yes, they had watch outs and shit like that. So maybe the watch outs or whatever, he pulled up. It wasn't a fucking protest, though. It wasn't. It's like 8 people out there, bro. What the fuck?
But that doesn't mean that the agents who tackled him on Saturday knew about him. Now, recall that part of this collection of information comes within the context of the Department of Homeland Security repeatedly warning that their officers are under threat over the course of these operations. In fact, just this morning, the department publicized an online tip form for people who are allegedly harassing ICE officers. Now, I did ask the Department of Homeland Security for a statement, and I received the following, quote,
I'm talking about, what are y'all talking about? He shouldn't have made things. I'm talking about what the fucking president and Kash Patel and everybody's saying. Are we not hearing what leadership is saying right now? You can't have a gun. You just can't have a loaded gun with 2 magazines. You just can't take it in there. You can't. Why the fuck not? Am I the only one seeing this shit? Hello? What the fuck are we talking about, man?
Database, something we've heard from other officials. When our law enforcement encounter a violent agitator who is breaking the law, obstructing law enforcement, or assaulting them, our law enforcement make records to advance prosecution. This is not groundbreaking. It is standard protocol. And what I mean by that database having come up before is that White House Board Czar Tom Homan has said that there would be a database created for those.
You saying what they mean is that you can't go to a protest with a gun and attack an ICE? That's not what the fuck they said. That's not what the fuck they said. They need to say what they mean and mean what they say. What they're saying is you just can't have a gun with loaded magazines. You just can't. This isn't New York. Maybe in fucking New York, Bronx, Brooklyn, somewhere, man. You can't do that, man. This is Minnesota, man. I'm from the deep south, man. Maybe that shit flies in New York or somewhere, downtown, some of these other places and shit, man. But here, that shit doesn't fly. What the fuck do you mean you just can't have a loaded firearm with extra magazines? Why the fuck not? They're not saying and attack an ICE agent. No. At first they said he wanted to go over there and shoot the ICE agents, cause maximum damage, right? Isn't that what Bovino said? Isn't that what Bovino said? Then they got on his ass. Why? Because this man was a VA nurse, man. And he was a lawful carrying man. They got on his ass, and what happened, man? They quit all of that maximum. You don't hear that anymore. The first night this shit happened, all of y'all wanted to come here. He was trying to shoot up everything. He was trying to shoot up everything. I'm like, man, if he wanted to shoot up everything, they wouldn't even have got close to him. People who want to shoot up everything typically don't just let motherfuckers walk up on them, man. Just being honest here. So our Bovino asked, not only did he get the position's not even there anymore.
For interference. Now, in all of this, it doesn't indicate that Preddy was ever arrested so much as he had this interaction, this encounter a week prior that left him with that broken rib. So we're learning more details about him, but also telling of the dynamic that has been the case on the ground in Minneapolis.
And Homan is now in Minneapolis. He's had a number of meetings. Tell us about that.
Yeah, he has met, as you saw there, with the governor. Of course, the president himself dispatched Tom Homan to go there to try to smooth over the tensions. The White House is describing his role as managing immigration and customs enforcement operations. Look, this does come as a relief to some Homeland Security officials because he is a veteran immigration and customs enforcement official. That is, that he has deep experience in interior enforcement and targeted arrests. So we will see what that means practically on the ground, but he being Homan, taken a bit of a different approach.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact he was intentionally committing a crime. That crime that he was intentionally committing did not carry a fucking death sentence. That's the problem. So the next time one of your relatives gets sticky fingers or something and steals a piece of bubble gum out the store, they ass get popped behind that shit. Fuck it. Shouldn't have been committing a crime, right? Shouldn't have been committing a crime, man. You motherfucker run a red light, man. Somebody get road rage and blow their ass the fuck down. Fuck it. They shouldn't have been committing a crime, right? They ran that stop sign. Yeah, kiss my ass with that. The crime the damn time need to fit the crime.
Which then Bovino, who we know and saw, did more broad immigration sweeps in multiple cities across the country that became controversial and clearly hit a tipping point in Minneapolis just in the last few days. Sources telling our team that federal immigration officers have been collecting personal information about some protesters in Minneapolis and had details on Alex Preddy before he was shot and killed on Saturday. CNN's Priscilla Alvarez has been across this story. We're also joined by CNN's Josh Campbell. But Priscilla, let me start with you. What more do we know about the information that's being collected and how Alex Preddy first came to be on?
No, you want to say my brain is on the left? See, that's what's wrong with y'all motherfuckers. Y'all brain is so focused on left and right, and what I'm focused on is America. What needs to be going on. Y'all are focused on Democrat and Republican. I'm focused on what the fuck is going on. If any situation happened and you just justify killing them, fuck it. Turn this bitch to the Wild Wild West in. You don't want that, do you? Motherfuckers ain't gonna want this bitch to really be like the Wild West. If we gonna play that shit and we gonna give some people immunity, give everybody immunity. Make this bitch like the Purge then. Fuck it. That ain't what y'all want.
Radar of the federal government in this situation. Well, Casey, let me start with your second question and this earlier incident that we were learning about from sources, me and my colleague Jeff Winter. And that earlier incident that was a week prior to the fatal shooting this past Saturday in Minneapolis, Alex Preddy had stopped his car when he saw ICE agents chasing what he described as a family to one of the sources and began shouting and blowing his whistle. Now, over the course of this encounter, 5 agents tackled him and one of them leaned on his back and left him with a broken rib. According to the source who had spoken to Preddy, the source said, quote, that day he thought he was going to die. Now, CNN has also reviewed records that show that Preddy was later given medication consistent with a broken rib. Now, we don't know if it is this incident that was on the radar, that put Alex Preddy on the radar for federal law enforcement, but we do know there has been...
Now you saying your brain is on the left, immigration must be enforced. Well, how about this? How about your borders are, right? Your borders are and the administration around, guess what? They said they're not deporting motherfuckers if they're not criminals anymore, right? So we're right back to the Biden era shit, aren't we? We're right back to if the mission was to deport every motherfucking body, Bovino failed when Renee Good and Alex Preddy got shot, right? When Alex Preddy got shot all in his fucking back and Renee Good got shot in her damn face, guess what? It's right back to the Biden era shit, man. If they pull up your damn tags and you ain't committed a crime, they're gonna let you go. So we did all of this shit for what? All of this shit for what? Everybody's riled up. Everybody's mad. The fucking government's about to shut down over this shit. For what? To go right back to the same Biden era policy, right? Right. Or you just talking?
Election of protesters and agitators within the context of the Department of Homeland Security's repeated warnings about the threats to law enforcement officers who are on these operations. In fact, just on Tuesday this morning, the department publicized an online tip forum for people to submit tips about others who are harassing ICE agents. Now, I asked the Department of Homeland Security about our reporting. They said that no record of this incident, this earlier incident of Alex Preddy, was recorded. They also said, quote, there is no database when our law enforcement...
what I'm saying is this. You talking about, where your fucking comment go? Brother, you should be smarter than that. No, you should be smarter than that. What I'm telling you is, you're saying we have to enforce immigration. Well, guess what? After these 2 people got shot, immigration just reversed, man. They're about to let all of that shit that was going on that you was hoorahing about. Yeah, I love this shit. That shit's done now, man. Shit's done. It's over with.
Encounter a violent agitator who is breaking the law, obstructing law enforcement, or assaulting them, our law enforcement make records to advance prosecution. This is not groundbreaking. It is standard. I'll also add, Casey, that we had heard from White House border czar Tom Homan in recent days, who said that a database would be created of those who are arrested for interference, impeding, and assault. So all of this sort of revealing of the landscape in Minneapolis and the collection of information amid the tensions both between the federal law enforcement on the ground and also the protesters.
So considering that new landscape, excuse me, Josh Campbell, we have some new video that shows the minutes before Alex Preddy was shot by immigration agents. Walk us through that. What stands out to you?
Well, this is important because we've seen the actual incident of the shooting, but these are the moments just before that. And you can actually see these immigration agents that are there interacting with Preddy. They're off to the left of that video there. And at one point they start shoving him, they're pushing him back, he's standing there filming. It's important because this is really going against this narrative that the Department of Homeland Security came out with initially, saying that he was trying to assault those officers, that he was threatening them, that he was brandishing a firearm. You see them, kind of mixing it up there. They're trying to push him back. These agents appear to be very, very amped up as these protesters had shown up, but no indication that he was actually posing some type of threat to them. And it makes you have to wonder, I mean, where did that come from? When you had the DHS saying that he was attempting to massacre federal agents, did senior officials there just make that up? Or, even just as concerning, did the agents on the ground really tell their bosses that he pointed a weapon at them before they opened fire? It's hard to figure out where that information came from, but every video we found so far, completely debunks that.
Alright, chat, double tap the screen, shut the live out, man. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal, chat. We need 25 new subscribers. We're going to get into the Trump interview. Let's get in. Trump talked about it today, too. Trump also said you just can't have the gun. You just can't have a loaded gun with extra magazines. You just can't take it in there. What?
Welcome back to the Will Cain Show, live from Iowa.
Y'all told me Obama was going to take the guns. Y'all told me Biden was going to take the guns, man. I don't know, Chad. When the NRA is coming out talking about this administration, when pro-Second Amendment groups are coming out talking about this administration, I don't know, Chad.
And now we're here. We're here with President Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, great to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for doing this.
Well, you do have great ratings.
Well, thank you.
We check the ratings, but even if you had lousy ratings, I would do your show. You are terrific. You've been a terrific guy.
I anticipate they should do very well today with this type of guest today here on the Will Cain Show. Welcome back to the campaign trail. Welcome back to Iowa. How does it feel?
Well, I love Iowa. We've won it 3 times conclusively. There wasn't like any late night voting or anything. We just won it right at...
A-Dub said, please tell me, will you, and my next question. What does that say? Thank you, A-Dub. Thank you, A-Dub. I don't know what your question is, A-Dub.
Right at the beginning, the doors closed and they said Trump won.
You said you can't have a gun at the airport either. Yeah, you could check the gun in at the airport. You can't have a gun where there are no firearms allowed posted. If there is a sign that says firearms prohibited, which there are at the airport, which there are at the courts, you can't have a gun there. On a public road, on a street, you can have a gun.
and I love the people. You know, I just get along with the people.
I was watching the other room. You look back in your element. You're back with the people. What do you like better? Do you like
Correct, because you can't carry it on person at the airport because they have no firearms signs posted. Anywhere there is a no firearms sign posted, you can't have a gun there, of course. What are we even talking about?
like this? Standing on the stage at a rally, or do you like making a deal, maybe for Greenland?
I think I like maybe the rallies better. Deals are fun, but we're making a lot of good deals. We've made record-setting deals. We have $18 trillion coming into the country. That's why they're building auto plants, AI. They're building everything. With thousands of businesses are being built all over the country, and you're going to have a beautiful, very positive explosion sometime during the year when these things start opening up. But there's never been no country has done what we've done.
That explosion, that anticipated economic explosion, that's going to be important because you also need to do something that someone...
Listen, I was waiting on someone to say that. Did you just come in here and say, why have a gun at a rally? You came in here and said, why have a gun at a rally? There is no way that conservatives are coming in here in my chat saying, why have a gun at a rally? Because I fucking can. Nobody said nothing when these guys was running around, did they? Nobody said these guys were wrong at the rally, did they? But now that this Alex Preddy lost his life, not even at a fucking rally, it was somebody getting picked up and he stopped to record it. But if it was a rally, what the fuck does it matter? None of these people was in trouble and went to jail. Why do they have these guns at the rally? Nobody gave a fuck. It's just crazy to hear conservatives talk like that, bro. It's just crazy. Let me get back to my video, man. Let me get back to this Trump video, man. I don't know what's wrong with you motherfuckers, man. I don't know what's wrong with you. Y'all gotta be trolling me tonight, man. Y'all gotta be trolling me tonight.
You like this? Standing on the stage at a rally, or do you like making a deal, maybe for Greenland?
I think I like maybe the rallies better. Deals are fun, but we're making a lot of good deals. We've made record-setting deals. We have $18 trillion coming into the country. That's why they're building auto plants, AI. They're building everything. With thousands of businesses are being built all over the country, and you're going to have a beautiful, very positive explosion sometime during the year when these things start opening up. But there's never been no country has done what we've done.
That explosion, that anticipated economic explosion, that's going to be important because you also need to do something that someone has done very rarely. You acknowledged this a couple of days ago with Maria Bartiromo, and that is for the president in power to win the midterms. I think it's been only twice since 1938 that the sitting president, the president in power, has won the midterms. Are you concerned?
Well, nobody can explain why. You know, even when we've had an amazing year, there's been a record-setting year in every way, and nobody can explain. Even presidents, whether it's Republican or Democrat, when they win, it doesn't make any difference. They seem to lose the midterm. So that's the only thing I worry about. I said, why? There's some psychological factor out there.
What do you think that is?
But I think it's like 2 in more than 50 years. Well, I don't know. Maybe they want to put up a guard fence. Maybe you just don't know. It doesn't make sense. Even if a president did well, they seem to lose the midterms. But hopefully we're going to change it.
Yeah, do y'all think the Republicans or Democrats are going to win the midterms? What it do, Naomi? I seen we're going to talk about India and EU's trade deal here later on. What it do, Carlos? Joe Butler said, like the video, chat. We're shadow ban. Let's get past the shadow ban, man. Who do y'all think are going to win the midterms, Republicans or Democrats? Honestly.
We're doing great. We have the best polling numbers we've ever had. We have the best numbers in the country, lowest crime numbers in the history of our country. You know, Minnesota's in the news a lot, but what they don't say is that Minnesota has low numbers because of the fact that we took thousands of hardened criminals out of Minnesota, so they had good crime numbers, believe it or not. And that's all working out. You know, we have Tom Homan there now. We put him in there. He's great. And they met with the governor, the mayor, everybody else, and we're going to de-escalate a little bit. But I will tell you, you look at the numbers, they're doing better than they've done in many years because we took thousands of criminals out of Minnesota. You look at Washington, D.C. It was a very dangerous place a year and a half ago. Now it's as safe as you can get. You can walk your family down the middle of the street. Nothing's going to happen. You know, it's we got rid of over 2,000 hardened criminals. Many of them led in through the open border policy of Sleepy Joe Biden. It was not a good. That was not a good policy, Will.
I want to come back to Minnesota in just one moment, but let's go to those guardrails. I'd imagine you do not feel like you need guardrails in this moment. You talk about the investment.
No, I don't need guardrails. I don't want guardrails. Guardrails would hurt us because, you know, we're free enterprise people. The people in this room, the people of Iowa, are free enterprise. That's why we want it so big 3 times in a row.
I would have to imagine that guardrails would be an understatement of what would happen should you lose the House or the Senate. There's been talk of impeachment. You've been through this before. Yeah. You've been through it multiple times.
I'm a professional.
What will happen? What will happen if Democrats take the House?
They'll probably try and impeach me. They'll say he went to Iowa and he spoke unfairly to people and he's not supposed to do that. Let's impeach him, okay? And the people in Iowa would say, how did he get impeached? He just did.
No, they finna try to impeach your ass over deploying the National Guard. They finna try to impeach your ass over tariffs. They finna try to impeach your ass over a lot of shit. Probably the birthright citizenship thing. They're probably gonna try to impeach you over Maduro. They might try to impeach you over Greenland. I don't think they're gonna impeach you over what the fuck you said at Iowa, Trump. I'm just gonna be honest with you, big dog. Bulletproof, man. They're gonna try to impeach. Al Green been trying to impeach your ass before you even won the election this time, man. This shit is crazy.
An interview with Will, who has very good ratings, okay? But they just did an interview with Will. Now, they'll find something. There'll be something. I made the wrong.
You said I'm delusional. You don't think that they're going to try to impeach him for all of those things? You're delusional if you don't. Guess why? Because Steve Bannon and Trump both got up there and said, hey, if we lose the midterms, they're going to impeach me. If we lose the midterms, we're going to fucking jail. He said it. Steve Bannon said it. The fuck are you talking about?
Turn at an exit and let's impeach him. Now, they did that before. They impeached me on a perfect phone call. They impeached me twice. And by the way, I won the impeachments very easily and quickly. But they impeach. They're very nasty people. You know, they have bad policy, really bad, but they do 2 things. They stick together. Not stupid. Some are, because, you know, that's true with everything, right? But they stick together, but they have really bad policy. Men and women's sports, transgender for everybody. So many things are so bad. I mean, they're horrible to the farmers. And by the way, I just gave the farmers $12 billion because they were treated unfairly. We're taking in a fortune with tariffs. And I wrote them a little check about 2 weeks ago for $12 billion. Anybody in this room get any of it yet? Yes, yeah. And a lot of people. It's a lot of money. And you know what? You deserved it. But we're taking in so much money from the tariffs that we can do that.
I want to talk about the point of view.
Who got 12 billion?
Some of these people.
Who was clapping their hands? Who got some of that 12 billion? I don't think I got any of that 12 billion, man.
This room a little bit later, but now I want to take you up on your invitation to talk about Minnesota. Listen, the entire country is talking about what happened this past weekend in Minnesota. You've already spoken about it. Everyone watching has seen the video. Everyone has an opinion. I'm curious what you thought when you first saw that video.
Well, I think.
Okay, we got a super chat from A-Dub. Do you think if they said any illegal in the U.S. over 5 years never arrested may stay, but protests must stop? And if they help ICE get the bad ones free citizenship, Trump must focus on America's safety. I don't think they should help get anyone. I don't think it's the public's job to aid in these arrests. But yes, if Trump made a concession and said if you've been here over 5 years and you haven't committed a crime, because guess what? But prior to the 5 years, they say that the border was wide open during the Biden administration. So if we go back 5 years, Trump's still in office. So they were here during Trump. So if we let everybody that's been here 5 years stay and continue to deport the people that was here came through during the Biden administration, that could be a concession that will work. It might. But as far as help ICE get the bad ones out, nah, hell no. citizenship for helping ICE get the bad ones out. Nah, I seen a clip where they said tell the illegals, if the Republicans tell the undocumented immigrants that if the Republicans win the midterm, they'll get citizenship, the Democrats will try to deport them. They said the Democrats will sure start trying to deport them if the Republicans guarantee citizenship. But no, I don't think they should help deport anyone. I do not think they should help. But yeah, if they were here prior to the open border of Joe Biden, then yeah, that could be something that would essentially work. It would stop a lot of the violence in the streets.
I think the whole thing is terrible. I don't like the fact that he was carrying a gun that was fully loaded and he had 2 magazines with him, and it's pretty unusual. But nobody knows when they saw the gun, how they saw the gun, everything else. Bottom line, it was terrible. Both of them were terrible. The other was terrible too.
I think anytime you give someone the power over another person or over a group of people, it's going to be abused, and there's going to be room for abuse. That's why I'm saying that no, they shouldn't help them find people for citizenship, because that's going to just lead to a whole nother set of problems. When you have untrained individuals, calling in tips or trying to make citizens arrest and shit like that, and yeah, nah, man, they don't need to do that.
And I'm not sure about his parents, but I know her parents were big Trump fans. Makes me feel bad anyway, but I mean, I guess you could say even worse. They were tremendous Trump people, Trump fans, and the daughter was, she was, I don't know if you could say radicalized, maybe not, I don't know, but I hate to see it. I hate to see that.
You bring up the term radicalized. What do you think is happening? You see these people in these videos, they feel very involved.
This is the thing, Mike. What you're debating doesn't really fucking matter. Because what you're debating is personal opinion. You say you've had your concealed carry weapon for 32 years. Okay, good for you. I've been in an open carry state for about the same amount of time. You said no way in hell I would handle my mourning the way he handled his. No way, and I don't know anyone else who would accept you. So now you're trying to turn it into a personal attack on me, and you don't even fucking know me. No, I wouldn't have handled my mourning like that. If I seen some shit like that going on and people getting arrested and shit, I would have kept fucking driving. But that doesn't mean that it's right. That doesn't mean that he should have lost his fucking life there. That doesn't mean that they're telling us we aren't supposed to be carrying our guns with extra clips and shit like that. No, I wouldn't have fucking stopped. I would have kept fucking going, because I mind my business. That's just how the fuck I was raised. But that doesn't make it right. The fuck are you talking about?
To step in and interfere with law enforcement. Yeah. I'm not talking about protest, holding signs. I'm talking about people physically interfering with immigration enforcement. Why?
Thanks, Debbie.
You have to go throughout the whole country. We have done so much work throughout the whole country. We don't have any problem. The only one we have is Minnesota. We're in a lot of different places. New Orleans, we're in the governor of Louisiana called to have a big problem in New Orleans. And we went there. We've cut the crime by 67% in 4 weeks. It'll be down to practically nothing soon. Washington, D.C.
So, it wasn't a riot, Debbie. You are misinformed. The official report came out today, and it said that Mr. Pretty was driving by and seen a family being detained and arrested, and he got out to record. Would I have done that? No, I probably would have kept driving. But for you to say don't take a gun to a riot, it holds no weight in this situation. I keep telling you guys, it was like 8 people on that street. It wasn't a fucking protest. It wasn't a fucking riot. The official the official reports, investigation reports have came out today. They said he was driving by, seen a family being detained, and he stopped. Where the fuck is the riot at? Where the fuck is the protest? V says, I can't believe people stupid. I feel bad about their stupidity. Trump uses them and they love him like a schoolgirl loves a teen pop star. There are a lot of people that are Trump delusional. There are a lot of people that have Trump derangement syndrome. Me, I'm kind of indifferent. I don't love Trump. I don't hate Trump. It just is what it is. He's the fucking president right now. This is what's going on. There are a lot of people that are blinded by Trump with love, and there are people that are blinded by Trump with hate. And we never get anywhere with that, just being honest.
You see, we don't have problems like, we've cut it down from a lot. It was very bad. It was terrible. People go to Washington to look at the Lincoln Monument and they end up getting whacked or whatever, killed in some cases. Numerous killings. That's a beautiful, safe place now. Memphis, Tennessee, one of the worst in the whole country, and now it's got very little crime.
But it's gone very differently in Minneapolis.
Well, it has. It's the only place.
And now the message is out that Tom Homan is in.
Yeah.
Commander Bovino is supposedly leaving Minneapolis along with some CBP agents. Is this a pullback?
I don't think it's a pullback. It's a little bit of a change. Everybody in this room that has a business, you make little changes. Bovino's very good, but he's a pretty out there kind of a guy, and in some cases that's good. Maybe it wasn't good here. But you have to understand, when I watch some of the people that I've been watching over the last few weeks, these are paid insurrectionists. These are paid agitators. These people aren't normal, like, that, they're incensed about it.
I hate to say it. There are some paid agitators. There are some paid people going on. But what I really hate to say is it's deeper than that, chat. I studied the Nepal, the Gen Z uprising. I studied what's going on in Iran until they cut down the damn things. We seen a lot of these governments being overthrown, and this shit is the rumblings. These networks and shit, man, motherfuckers might try something, bro. And I don't know. Today they already rolled out the LRAD damn sonic thing, man. They're reporting in Iran right now, they're just shooting people the fuck down. Anywhere from 4,000 to 40,000 people are dead. We seen Gen Z burn down the whole fucking city over there in Nepal. Had the damn finance minister getting beaten in the river. Burnt down the damn prime minister's house. Had him getting helicoptered the fuck out of there, man. This is what I hate to say it. I think it might be brewing, man. When they're talking about these signal chats, vetted, unvetted, they're talking about paid people, GMOs. You got gas mask and shit, man. This shit, I don't know, bro. I don't know if it's a psyop. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But this shit's not good, bro. Shit's not good, bro.
Anything. How do you get incensed when you go into a state and you're taking criminals out? You're taking monsters out. Murderers. We had 11,888 murderers let into our country by other countries, by Biden with his open border stupid policy. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You talk about bad policy. Open borders where people were coming, so the whole world, the Congo, Venezuela, all over the world, they're letting people in from their prisons and they're feeding them into the United States. And they're murderers and they're drug dealers and they're everything else you can think of. Every bad name you can think of. And they let them in by the millions. We closed the border. We have nobody coming into our country anymore. Literally.
It just shows how hard it is to clean up, even after you close it. It shows the price that we paid under Joe Biden.
It's the hardest thing when you...
This is the thing. This is what I'm going to say. This is why I say this is not good. A lot of people we're seeing more of the scarecrow flags and shit come out. Those are revolution flags. We're seeing a lot more people doubling and tripling down. We're seeing people throwing tear gas back. We're seeing the other side, the law enforcement side, amping it up, talking crazy, telling people, if you yell at me, I'll end you right here. We're seeing it go on. The Democrats and these people, they're not gonna stop. The Republicans, they're not going to stop. If they're gonna put Trump in for a solidified third term or not hold an election, this is a surefire way to get this shit the fuck going on, man. This is a surefire way. All the Democrats are saying, oh, he's gonna go third term. They're not. Well, do y'all not see what the fuck is going on? They steady asking for the fucking voter data. The voter data. Do y'all think they're asking for that voter data just so they can stop mailing election? No, they asking for that fucking voter data so they can overturn the election, man. And if that don't work, a fucking insurrection, man. This shit is going on, bro. Are we not watching the same playbook?
Think of it. Inflation we've solved. It's done. We haven't.
Let me read that super chat. Hold on, chat.
They were just saying.
Let me read the super chat from A-Dub. As a black American, aren't you mad that people are not getting, that your people are not ones getting the grants for opening daycares and such, while Somalians hate black Americans as much as white Americans? No, as a black American, I don't I don't get upset, you know, about the Somalis getting grants and things of those sorts, because there's always some things going on, and people have to do the legwork. If you do the legwork, there is gonna be a way. Now, this just happened to be, you know, fraud going on. So, am I mad that the black people didn't get brought into this fraud? No, shit. Look at PPP. When that shit was going on, the blacks were the face of PPP. They always wanted to say, "Oh, this is what y'all would do with reparations. Y'all want to go buy Trackhawks and SRTs and put jewels in your mouth. Why the fuck would you want reparations?" No, I'm not mad that the black people didn't get involved with this Somali fraud. Now, if it's grants, there are a lot of black Americans that are getting grants to open, that have daycares. There are a lot of black Americans that get, you know, small business funding and shit. Black Americans are actually doing, you know, some things going on. But am I mad that they didn't get brought into this? Fuck no, because I know what the black Americans would have done. Y'all talking about 18 billion in Somali fraud. The black Americans would have ran that bitch to a 50 ball. A 50 ball first week. First week, black Americans would have pushed that bitch to about 50 billion. No, I'm not. I'm glad that black Americans did get brought in this shit. V-Me says, this is my personal experience. Most Trump people I know used to copy off my Gov and history test in high school and homework in high school. Now they want to talk to me about government, geopolitics, and public policy. It makes no sense. Of course, V-Me, but that's what makes America America. You know, everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an experience. A lot of people aren't versed about what's really going on. And that's okay. You got to be able to meet people where they're at, V. That's what I try to do here on this show every single night. You know, there are people that call in that they're more versed than me in certain things. There are people, but I just research. This is what I do. I research, so I'm pretty much always in the know. Even if I don't know everything about the history of it, I know, you know, modern day, present day, what's kind of going on. But I open it up. People meet me where I'm at. You know, you have people call in, they're damn nuclear engineers or Air Force pilots or Navy air traffic controllers. They call in. I don't know their job. They meet me where I'm at. And when people call in and they really don't know about what's going on in present times, I meet them where they're at. That's what a community's about. That's what conversations are about. Just meeting people where they are, you know, so we can get some understanding. What it do, OG Yosemite?
In Iowa, the fuel is $1.95. Did you hear that? Somebody said $1.85, but it was $3.50, $4.50 just a year ago, a year and a half ago. You look at eggs, you look at groceries, it's all down. Everything's come down. Do you notice they don't mention affordability anymore? That's like an old-fashioned word. They brought up affordability, but they were the ones that caused it. I didn't.
Trump. All Americans are bringing up affordability because Hakeem Jeffries is not getting up there talking about affordability. Every single night in this chat, people are talking about affordability. You said, A-Dub said, can't afford more. Can you answer one regular text? Yeah, I got you, A-Dub. Just type your question. I got you there. Make sure I answer it. But yeah, all Americans are talking about fucking affordability right now. What are we getting at, man? What are we getting at? The dollar has lost 10%. The dollar's lost 10%. So all the wins that we're touting, man, it's still fucked up right now, man. Let's just be honest right now, chat. It's fucked up right now. Insurance, man, when they tried to charge me $550 a month, bro, for one vehicle on insurance when I was in Texas, man. Had me fucked up, chat. Had me fucked up, man. $550 for one vehicle, bro. Fucked up, man. Hell no, chat. All Americans are talking about affordability, man. V-Me said, you are not like them. You take your time to talk and dialogue and research. These people are not like you. Thank you, V-Me. I do appreciate that. V-Me. I'm looking for A-Dub's text. Where are you at, A-Dub? I'm looking for your regular question, A-Dub. I don't see it, though. But nah, V-Me, I do appreciate it. I try to just give my thoughts and opinions between my experiences, my perception and my perspective. You know, I'm a black American from the deep south. I don't know what it's like to be someone from the West Coast. I don't know what it's like to be someone from the East Coast. So I don't shun them for their experiences. Yes, you grew up on the West Coast. Your experiences will probably be fundamentally different than mine. You know, you grew up on the East Coast. It just is what it is. So I like having those conversations. Thank you, Fries. I'm still waiting on A-Dub's comment before I play. A-Dub said that, can I read one regular text? I'm looking, trying to wait on the question.
Because when I came in, prices were way too high. We had the highest inflation in the history of our country. 48 years, they say. I say the history. But we had the highest, let's say in 48 years, the highest.
No, I didn't get tickets to hike up my insurance like that. I had two not at fault accidents. Y'all remember I told y'all I got hit on the interstate. So those two accidents where I wasn't at fault, that pushed my shit the fuck up, man.
Highest inflation. Prices were way high. Now I've got the prices down, and they're going down still further. But think of it. We brought fuel from $4, $3.50, $3.75 down to $1.99, $1.08. I was just told in Iowa $1.85.
Yeah.
A gallon.
No doubt. But that leaves that problem, like you said, the hardest one to solve. People say they want our immigration laws
The hardest one to solve is.
You know, I remember a conversation that you and I had a year and a half ago with your Secretary of War, our friend Rachel Campos Duffy, and you said to me, you looked at me and said, it's going to be difficult when the New York Times runs a picture of a little kid being taken away from their mother. It's going to be difficult. And by the way, that basically happened to you a week ago. It was propaganda and it was false about a 5-year-old.
By the way, it was a totally false story.
Totally fake story. Yeah, totally. But you're now dealing with the difficulty of the propaganda in the
You say you sent that regular?
And I knew that. Well, I mean,
you did know.
It's always tough.
Are you still
So we
committed?
take out 25 murderers. We take out drug dealers. We take out a whole group of people by the thousands. And if we get one person a little bit wrong, headlines. But they don't talk about all the tremendous. You know, the reason that we have Minnesota crime down, I talk about that because it's only down for one reason. We took out so many criminals. But
A-Dub, you didn't send it. The last text that you sent was your super chat. I just scrolled all the way back up. They might have not let you put it in there. The last text I see from you, A-Dub, is the super chat. The $10, the yellow super chat. Yeah, I just scrolled all the way up and down. A-Dub, your question isn't there.
Other states are way down. So the report came out, though, think of it. In the history of this country, we have the lowest number of murders. We have the lowest crime, the best crime number. That's despite the fact that millions, I say 25 million people, millions of people were let in through the border by Biden. And
thank you, Vimy.
Many of those people were not people you want to have in the country.
So what's going to change? You put in Tom Homan. Have you spoken today to Tom Homan?
Well, yeah, I have. Tom is fantastic. Tom is a tough guy, but I've watched over the years, and he's gotten along with governors, and he gets along with mayors.
That's what I said, man. That's what I said when this first happened. Tim Walz needed to holler at Tom Homan and use him as an out to the situation. So since then, since Alex Pretty's murder, Alex Pretty's getting shot, Tim Walz has gotten Border Patrol out of the state. Tim Walz has also gotten it to where if non-criminal undocumented immigrants will not be detained, they will not be picked up. They're only going after the quote-unquote criminal, the criminals, the ones that have committed a crime. So Tim Walz got, two wins out of that being diplomatic right there by going through the Tom Homan, having that call with Trump, going through Tom Homan. I told y'all before, if he goes through Tom Homan, tells Tom Homan, hey man, get 2/3 of these people out of the city, man, and we'll open up the jails, let you do what you need to do. Same thing, it is what it is. Tom Homan has kept the same language throughout, though. Tom Homan's kept the same language throughout. Like, hey, man, we don't want to be in the cities like this doing this shit, man. Just open up the jails, and it'll kind of be what it is, right?
Some people don't. Some people just want to do their job and leave me alone. And that's sort of okay, too. That's generally been okay. Most of them are happy. Memphis, Tennessee, very tough, very straightforward. We're taking the criminal out. We're getting them out either.
All right, let me see. I'm looking for A-Dub. A-Dub says, I'll try again. You said, who do you think is going to be president after this guy? I don't know. I think the Republican ticket will probably end up being Vance and Trump Jr., or it'll be Vance and Rubio, something like that. The Democratic ticket will probably be Gavin Newsom and someone. A lot of people are floating James Talrico's name. He does have national appeal. I don't know. You know, he is still kind of young. I say the Democrats go get Mark Cuban, man. Put Mark Cuban, Gavin Newsom on that ticket. They'll compete, but I don't know who's going to be the next president. Okay. V says the criminals are ICE in Minnesota. Crime stats are up. That's a lie. I have to look at the crime data. I haven't looked at the crime data. XX says they're also no longer a sanctuary state. Trump can now deport from jails. Correct. It was give a little bit, get a little bit. A-Dub, okay, I see it, A-Dub. H-Buster said, that's fried. A-Dub says Trump had to take Greenland and Venezuela or Russia and all would see he's busy saying American freedom be intact. I want to say more on this again. Okay, A-Dub, just keep, I'll be looking out for your comments. Trump did want to get Greenland and Venezuela, but this has been a long-standing thing. This has been going on for a long time. These plans have been in. Trump wants to be the greatest president of all time. He wants to be the greatest man to walk the face of this earth. So it doesn't surprise me, you know, that he's trying the Monroe Doctrine 2.0, Monroe Doctrine, shutting down the Western Hemisphere. Yeah, and sometimes you got to show what you can do. If you touting that peace through strength, you know what I mean, peace through strength. Sometimes you got to show that strength, man. Before they went in there and got Maduro, we heard that Trump already was running covert CIA operations down there. So I'm pretty sure some people got paid off. They probably had a lot of money down there. They had $50 million bounty on Maduro's head. So how much money do you think they floated around to, you know, get the operations going? Of course. No, of course. Let's see. All right, Chad.
They're putting them in jail because some are so bad that you don't want to send them to where they came from because you're afraid they're going to come back.
You say he knows more than we do. Putin is getting old and he would try if he could. A lot of people are saying Putin might be sick or like terminally ill as well, allegedly. But yeah, this is a lot of posturing going on, and it's also solidifying the world for the next 150 years. That's why when you listen to China and their representative talk, they always tout that their country is 5,000 years old. They're like, look, man, America, y'all are 250 years old, man. We've been here for 5,000 and we plan on being here for 5,000 more. That's just what everybody's doing. They're putting their feet in the ground, trying to see how the world is going to look over the next couple hundred years, especially with AI in the game. AI can change the whole playing field.
So some are very down and straight, and others, Tom, I've noticed, as tough as he is, he gets along very good with governors and mayors. Now, I spoke to the mayor and to the governor yesterday.
They have been saying that for years, but there was still a globalization effort going on. And if we're going to get to one world government, a lot of people don't realize there's going to have to be isolationism going on. There's going to have to be consolidation going on. We don't go from hundreds of countries to one world government like that. It's going to have to be some consolidation. If America takes over, you know, the Western Hemisphere, China takes over what they got going on, Russia takes over. Look, bro, you got Africa doing what the fuck Africa's gonna do. Man, we're at like four things right there, man.
And they want to see it cleared up.
I'm so fascinated by your conversation with Governor Tim Walz. This man has suggested that this is modern day Gettysburg. He has likened his situation to Anne Frank in the Holocaust. He has said that ICE is your Gestapo army. And then you guys speak on the phone. I'm fascinated by that conversation.
It couldn't have been a nicer conversation. And in fact, I said to my people, I said, that's the same guy I watch on television, or I watch in the debate not doing so well, or because we had a very reasonable conversation. Very good.
What up, Johnny? Lombardo, quit spamming damn. I see you, damn.
Good conversation. If you believe in the conversation, he'd like to get this thing over with. But think of it, in the whole country, we've done this so much, we have the crime down to a level that nobody ever, I campaigned a little bit on crime, a lot on the border. The problem is, I gave you the best border in the history of our country. Nobody wants to talk about it anymore. I did it a long time ago. I was able to do it Within 3 months of taking office, I had that border locked and closed, and nobody even.
Yes, there was a debate on this channel yesterday. We're gonna do debates after every live stream. After every show, we'll do a panel. It doesn't always have to be a debate. It can be a conversation, just giving thoughts and opinions. But yes, that will be streaming on the Debate Nation channel, and I'll restream it to my audience over here. But the audio will always be better on the original channel. But yes, there will be debates and conversation after this live stream. Well, after this show.
Come up anymore. It's easy now. Nobody even tries to come up. Before they were coming up by the millions, but nobody wants to talk about that. They only want to talk about whatever the last thing is. But we're taking that.
So yeah, chat, be sure to double tap the screen and share the live out. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. Mods, drop the Discord and drop the backup channel that we have the debates on. Drop the Discord and the backup.
Thousands and thousands of criminals. And the worst thing that Biden did to this country, because again, inflation I can solve, all this stuff. The hardest thing to solve is when you have people brought into the country and you have to take those people. We have a very unfriendly court system, frankly, especially at the lower levels. Take those people and you have to.
Hey Dub, the best way to chat with me offline is in Discord. If you have Discord, my mods are about to drop Discord. That's the best way to chat with me offline is on Discord. We do weekly calls, and you could just that'll be the best way to hit me up directly.
Say I'm sorry, but you're going out. And in many cases, they're murderers, and they shoot you, they kill you. You've seen that, where they kill you. You're after a murderer, sir. You're going to have to come with me, and they end up shooting you. It's a very tough job that they have.
I know you addressed this morning. You talked about the incredible success, and it is an incredible success at the southern border. But you were asked, with the shift in Minneapolis and Tom Homan going to Minnesota, do you still have confidence in DHS Secretary Kristi Noem? You brought up the success at the border.
Look,
you do.
She was there with the border. Who closed up the border? She did, with Tom Homan, with the whole group. I mean, they closed up the border. The border is a tremendous success, one of the most secure borders in the entire world. We were a laughing stock, 1.5.
So, I just gotta ask, Chad. If we have the most secure border in history and we still don't have a fucking wall, was the wall necessary? I'm just asking, Chad. If we still don't have a complete fucking wall, man, was the wall necessary?
Years ago for the whole world. The whole world laughed.
I know they got sections of the wall where they blacked it out and put that black ass, hot ass paint there, but it's like, should we still keep building onto the wall, or should we just put more high-tech security on the border?
I had friends that said, is that real? They'd look at a picture. You've been down to the border. They'd look at a picture of the border with hundreds of thousands of people pouring in like it was water. And they said, is that really taken? They can't believe it. They think it's one of these crazy movies that they make. The border was horrible. It was horrible. I did the border twice. First time I won, 2016, I won on the border. But that border was nothing, and I fixed it immediately. It was great. We had great years.
No, I'm saying, I understand that some people are saying the wall made it more secure. What I'm saying is they're talking about finishing the wall. Now, right now, they haven't allocated any more funding to finishing the wall, but that still is on the agenda. They're trying to finish the wall. And I'm just asking, if border crossings are down to net zero, what the fuck do we need to finish the wall for?
We had a great economy. We had the best economy in history in 2016, my first term. And we rebuilt the military, and we get the largest regulation cuts. We had the best job number. We had a great first term. This term seems to be blowing it away. I mean, the only thing we have is a Minnesota.
Mr. Paramedic says, yes, because the crossings were happy on the real estate where the wall was built. Yes, of course. I'm saying to complete the wall. Now, right now, we have sections of the wall, but there is still an initiative to complete the wall. Also, Mexico was supposed to pay for the wall, but there is still an initiative to complete the wall. And I'm asking, is it necessary? If crossings are net zero now, is that necessary? Or is it a waste of funding? Let's see what VB says Mexico ain't paying for that wall. That was the mantra. Yes, Mexico was supposed to pay for the wall, VB.
and that is, I believe, easily resolved.
Okay. You're about to take the stage here in Iowa. I imagine you're going to talk about the economy.
Yeah.
I'm curious what your plan is if the Supreme Court rules negatively on your tariffs. You talk about tariffs.
Ms. Bones says the wall was a grift. Firefox says because in the long run after Trump leaves office, it will be easier to keep people out and keep people in. I do agree that it probably will be easier to keep people out, but I don't know if the funding is there. I don't know if the funding is there to complete the wall. I think with the way technology is going now, I think they could just put the tech there. They're gonna drone this bitch out anyway. We know that's what's coming. The fuck, we gonna need walls and drones, man. You know they're gonna have the drones out there.
We'll have to find another one. Look,
is there a plan B?
Yeah, the tariffs have been indispensable towards success. We've taken in $600 billion in tariffs. I gave the farmers $12 billion last week. I took them out of tariff money. It's kept the unfair competition out of our country. Now, they can build their auto plant here, but they can't build a plant in some place with, labor costs for a penny and then sell it into this country and then charge people a lot of money for a car. So the only way they can do that, they have to build the plants here. So the big auto companies from Germany, from Mexico, from Canada, Mexico and Canada are literally, their plants are closing down. They're moving into this country. So we have more activity than we've ever had. We have thousands of businesses all over the country being built. We have hundreds of big major factories.
I fucking hope so, Trump. And I hope these thousands of businesses that are being built aren't these fucking AI businesses that these kids are making by just typing out what they think is cool. Because yes, those are businesses and some of those businesses are successful, but those businesses only hire 3 people. It's the kid who fucking thought of the app and a couple of his friends, because they don't need him to know how to code anymore. They can just have it coded for them and go pay somebody to full on develop this shit. There are kids out here running $1 million businesses right now, and it's only 3 fucking people doing them. So are those the businesses that we're touting, or are people actually being fucking employed? I need to know, because we said 654,000 jobs were added to the private sector last time. People still ain't got no fucking jobs out here, man. What we talking about, bro? Alright, Mr. Paramedic says YouTube sucks at autocorrect, but my message was garbage. You bring up a good point, and Mexico did not write the check, but they did give us a favorable trade deal that is a net positive on the cost of the wall. I have to do my research on that, Met Paramedic. I have not looked into the trade deal that made the wall worthwhile, made the wall, worthwhile. Also, we have VMe says you just need a ladder to climb the wall. VMe, I thought they put that ultra black spray paint on the wall. I thought they put that blackout paint on the wall that makes it so hot that you can't even touch it, man.
Between AI, autos, and many other things being built, we've never had a
use
thing
them as
like
a tool
this.
for world peace.
For world peace, yeah. We have to use it for world peace.
But what happens if the Supreme Court strikes down the tariffs?
We will find some other way of doing a similar thing. But it'll be more inconvenient.
I was just speaking to some of the diners here today. Right. David Ullman, he's lived in Iowa for a long time. He's in agriculture. He does express concern about the tariffs and the effect it's had on farmers in Iowa.
So Trump is saying that they're investigating Ilhan Omar as well, but they're saying the Biden administration has actually started investigating it. So Benny Johnson put out a post on Twitter. I'll pull it up in a minute. But he's looked into Ilhan Omar's winery. She's supposed to have a winery, and the winery was worth like $15,000, and then it turned into like $5 million. But they don't actually have a physical location, or I don't know if they're shipping the shit out directly. I don't know what's going on. But Benny Johnson's doing the damn investigation. Trump's opened up an investigation, but they said it all started during the Biden era with Ilhan Omar. She goes today to does a town hall. Guy gets up, sprays some kind of weird shit on her. She acts like she was finna hit the man, but I don't blame her.
Well, it's going to be don't forget, they just kicked in.
All right, H-Buster.
And we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars.
What's up, Clapper?
We kept a lot of people out that want to come in and rip off our... For years, it was the reverse. China would charge us tariffs. Other countries would charge us tariffs. I've totally reversed it. Japan gave us $550 billion. South Korea is supposed to give us $350 billion. But what happens is they're coming in, they're building plants, they don't have to pay tariffs. If they don't do that, so what's happening is we're getting...
You says the winery is part of a DC private equity firm's portfolio. I'll have to look into that. You said you know all about the winery and the location. Where is the winery? What state is it in? VMe says you just need gloves to not get burnt by the paint. Yeah, VMe, I have seen people use those suction cup things too. There's like some crazy suction cup things that people are using to climb shit. Mr. Paramedic says, I've only been here forever 5 minutes, but you seem really fair and balanced. Respect. Thank you, Mr. Paramedic. You know, I crank up, I get loud, I cuss people out, I'm passionate, but at the end of the day, I'm always down to have a conversation, and I never, turn anyone's opinion down, because an opinion is exactly what it is. It's an opinion. How can I, be mad? As long as you're respectful and not hateful, hey, we're having a conversation. If it turns into a debate, it just is a debate.
Tremendous amount of business coming to this country, and they're coming in fast and sharp. I think the farmers are going to be the biggest beneficiary, because when you used to have people coming in and dumping their crops into the United States, and you guys were hurt, they're not allowed to do that because we're tariffing those crops.
Just a couple more questions.
I think the farmers, in a way, and it's going to take a little while to kick in.
Well, Arkansas farmers are supposed to be filing for bankruptcy at a tune of 30% this year. 1/3 of Arkansas farmers are set to file for bankruptcy this year, so I don't know if the farmers are thinking this shit is great. I'm just going to be all the way honest with you.
And the farmers stuck with me the first time, and I was right with China. When China did a little bit of a number, we gave you $28 billion then, because it was a help.
What's up, Lizard?
They were taken advantage of for years. We gave them 28. Now we gave them 12, sort of a minimal payment, $12 billion for the farmers. Nobody else would be able to do that. Nobody else would even think of doing that. But the tariffs are going to be phenomenal for the farmers, but they just kicked in.
I can see some nods here as you're talking.
A lot of nodding.
When? The tariffs are going to be good for the farmers off the backs of who? I just watched a guy yesterday. He has a fucking field of carrots. None of his workers are showing up. None of them. Not one fucking worker is showing up because of the deportations and shit that's going on. So he has a field of carrots that he has about 10 days to get the fuck out of the ground and get to market, or he's gonna lose his $900,000 contract, and they finna sue the balls off his ass. So where the fuck are the farmers winning, bro?
A couple quick more questions, Mr. President. One serious one. This whole Minnesota thing, it started because of a focus on fraud. It started because of illegal immigration and welfare fraud. The question is, will there be accountability in Minnesota and beyond?
There's got to be.
Other states, California.
Minnesota is one state. If you look at California, so in Minnesota, they're thinking...
No, Arkansas as a state is not filing bankruptcy. Arkansas as a state always has a balanced budget. We actually always come in under budget for the most part. I'm saying the Arkansas farmers, the farmers in Arkansas.
I think it's $19 billion. If they think it's $19 billion, triple it or quadruple it. And if we catch a lot of this fraud, and I felt it for a long time, but now we know what's happening. And the answer is, yeah, there will be accountability. It's one of the little problems. You know, I happen to think, and I've said it from the beginning, that a lot of what's going on with respect to Minneapolis, you know, with what's happening with all the hoopla, is so people don't talk about
You think
the
it's
fraud.
a distraction?
I've said it from day one. It's a distraction, because what you don't see is that we have hundreds of accountants from Todd and from all.
And then what's crazy is they say J.D. Vance is part of a firm that buys foreclosed farmland. So it's like these farmers are about to file bankruptcy. A third of Arkansas farmers are about to file bankruptcy, and the vice president's in a fucking conglomerate or whatever you want to call it, allegedly, that buys foreclosed farmland. It's fucking insane.
All of the different people. We have hundreds of accountants going over everything that's happening, and we're finding fraud on top of fraud on top of fraud. And I think that they don't want that to happen. You're talking about $19 billion. Probably that's a minimal number. Now, you take that and you go to California. You think California is better? I would say California is worse. It's totally out of control. They don't know what they're doing out there. The governor is, I actually thought he was a pretty nice guy, but he has no clue what he's doing. Look at a railroad. He builds a railroad. It's like 20 times more expensive than it was supposed to be. What they did to get down the cost, they made...
He's talking about California and Gavin Newsom's presidential bid for 2028.
It's shorter, so it doesn't go to San Francisco.
Chat, double tap the screen, shut the live out. I need everybody to subscribe to this channel right now. I need everybody to go to the top and like the video as well, or double tap your screen, man. We need to hit the algorithm again. We finally get some people in here. Double tap the screen, shut the live out. Let's crank up.
You saw what he said, right? He's claiming victory in Minnesota, by the way. He has posted that you have retreated in Minnesota, Governor Gavin Newsom, and he is encouraging people to keep the pressure up.
See, I haven't heard that at all, because it's just the opposite. I was called by the governor yesterday. I was called by the mayor yesterday. How do we do something? Please, how do we do something? I think it's bad for them. I don't think it's bad for us. I think it's bad for them.
Yeah, you'll have to see what Governor
But it's not
Newsom
a question
posted.
of retreat. We want safe cities. Whether it's if we took a lot of the crime out of there. We want safe cities and states. We want a safe country. And again, we just got a report done by Democrats that the country is the safest ever recorded right now.
Right. Along with a secure border. I'm just looking around. Who's here today? There's a lot of people. One guy who is not here is your Secretary of State, and I'm afraid he made a very big mistake. He gave an interview.
Marco
where he said
Rubio?
One of his tricks with you is on Air Force One. Marco Rubio goes into a room and covers himself up with blankets so that you won't see him sleeping, that you'll think it's a staffer. And so I think there's only one of two ways you go with this. You give him yet another job, or you pull the blankets back.
That's what he wants. Let me tell you, he's doing a fantastic job. He's a tough cookie. I can tell you that. He's a tough cookie. He's going to go down as the best Secretary of State we've ever had. You see what we're doing. Just today we solved a tremendous problem in conjunction with Syria. Saved many lives. I mean, we're saving a lot of lives all over the world. Ended 8 wars. I'm very proud of that, because it's not tough for me. We're trying to end one more, by the way, Russia, Ukraine. And I think we're going to get that done too. But we ended 8 wars and saved tens of millions of lives, and I'm happy about that.
You should be proud.
Thank you.
I know you're a big sports fan, so we'll end here. We now have the Super Bowl set. New England Patriots, Seattle.
Oh, Trump says ICE will be doing enforcement at the Super Bowl. Bad Bunny is supposed to wear a dress and sing in Spanish. Trump says that ICE will be doing border enforcement and he will not be attending the Super Bowl.
Seahawks. Now, usually when someone asks you these questions, you answer with, which of these two teams have a greater affiliation in fandom of President Donald Trump?
That's true. In those
so
cases,
I'm curious, have you already done the analysis?
Well, I tell you what, no, but
who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Bob Kraft is a friend of mine, and I've watched that team. And you got to hand it to him. He had the great team, and now he's got the great team again. They made a fantastic draft pick. The quarterback is great, but it's going to be I think it's going to be a tremendous game. I hope it's going to be a tremendous game.
Yeah. Mr. President, I know you got to take the stage. I really appreciate all the time you've given us and joining us live. We called a lot of audibles right here at the last moment. We really appreciate you joining us.
Well, you've done a tremendous job, and you've really been very fair to me. I don't even say nice. I just want to be fair.
Man, I want to find that clip where Trump said we can't bring guns. You just can't bring the gun. You just can't have 2 magazines. You just can't. What the fuck is going on? Who is all of these people?
This has been the most dramatic one-year turnaround of any country in history in terms of the speed. I really thought it would take us 2 or 3 years to do what we're doing. You know, we have the greatest
Y'all hear what he said? I really thought it would take us 2 or 3 years to do what we're doing. And when I come in this MF and I get the yelling and screaming and telling y'all that the timeline is accelerated, everything that they're trying to do, they're trying to get it done by the midterms. He just said he thought it would take them 2 or 3 years to do this shit. The timeline accelerated. We're dealing with accelerationists here on both sides, man. They will burn this motherfucker to the ground to see their goals through. The hell are we talking about?
#1 country anywhere in history in the world, anywhere in history for investment coming into the country. And it's amazing, and it's because of tariffs, and it's also because of the fact that we had such a tremendous November 5th. That November 5th brought spirit back to our country, came back. You know, one thing I think which is it's so important is, if you remember a year and a half ago, we couldn't get people to enlist in the military, any of them, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, any of them, the Coast Guard, Space Force. I love Space Force, right? We couldn't get them, and even police departments, they couldn't get anybody with a uniform that represented the country. You couldn't get them. And today, we have the single greatest recruitment numbers in the history of our military. The police forces are loaded. Law enforcement is loaded up. And everybody wants to be a policeman, a fireman. They want to be in the military, any branch. I mean, we literally, they couldn't get them. A year and a half ago, nobody wanted to be in the military. Now everybody wants to be in the military. It's an amazing thing that's happened, an amazing turnaround. And all because we have a president who does something very simple, puts America first, right? Right? Thank you. So under my leadership, economic growth is exploding to numbers unheard of. They've never had them before in recent times, and now, and we're just getting started.
That's the problem with this shit, man. That's the problem with this shit, bro. It's like, it's all ones and zeros, man. Asset prices are fucking inflated. They've been inflated since the damn 80s. And it's just getting worse. And when I hear record highs and shit, it's like, yeah, that's great. It is. But that's not the whole story.
You know, the great, big, beautiful bill, which is no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our seniors. Do we have any seniors in here? Do we have any seniors in here? One of the fake news said he did that.
Thank you, Mr. Paramedic. You said U.S. MCTA generates around $11 billion in tax revenues alone, not including GDP growth, with roughly $60 billion already collected. The total cost of every project on the border wall is $70 billion. So this year it will break even just on tax revenue. Okay, so they generate $11 billion in revenues alone, not including GDP growth, with $60 billion already collected. So do you think that they will finish the wall? Do you think that they will finish the wall?
That because he doesn't want to pay tax on his Social Security.
So the total cost is $70 billion. So they're saying this year they'll break even, but I don't know if they're going to finish the wall. Do you think that they're going to divert their funding somewhere else? Like maybe towards the Golden Dome, because I just don't see them finishing the wall.
That's what I never thought of. These are sick people. But despite the fact that we've just really started, it's just kicking in because we inherited such a horrible situation with all of the high prices and the inflation and everything else. And by the way, the open borders, we had millions and everything you see today wouldn't happen. They opened the borders, but we had a 5.4%. And since the election, the stock market has set 52 all-time highs, adding $9 trillion in...
No, we can't say there's not a wall. There are sections of the wall. We seen Kristi Noem go out there and show us the black damn paint that they had put on the wall. And they say it's supposed to make it super hot to the touch to where people can't climb over the wall. Remember, Kristi Noem was down there showing us it, and Trump, you know, her had, I guess, a conference where he was talking about the damn paint and how he picked out the paint, and it's some good damn paint.
value to your savings, retirement account, and 401ks. So, 401k people, I mean, of which you got a lot of people. Does anybody have a 401k in the
Mr. Paramedic says you're probably right on that one, especially if crossings are down to net zero. Yeah, that's what I would think, Mr. Paramedic, for sure, that they will probably divert that fund to somewhere else like the Golden Dome.
A lot of people. So you're setting records, right? The highest it's ever been. They say this, the good stock market, they say, well, this stock market, they can't get, they just try so hard. This stock market doesn't affect the middle class.
You said so they'll just climb it at night when it's less likely to be seen. I think that that is a viable solution. But with Hegseth coming out with that memo, I think it was like 9 or 11 page memo saying the Department of War is now an AI first, we're an AI first military, and we're going to be an AI first country. I'm assuming that they're going to put a lot of AI and technology down there on the border, specifically drones. I honestly believe the drones will probably have a better deterrence and security than the damn wall. Honestly, motherfuckers not finna try to do too much with that drone out there, chat. Especially if they think that drone. Now, are they gonna put weapons on these drones? I don't know what the hell they're gonna put on them, man. But yeah, I think drones would be a much more viable option. You said CBP has night vision. Yeah, they do have night vision, but he's saying as far as the black paint. Making it too hot to climb over, they could just go at night and it wouldn't be hot. And I'm saying that, yeah, that is a viable option. But if they put them damn drones in the air and they put that technology out there, it might be over with.
What about a 401k? What about all the other things? What about the fact that they're making more salary than they...
Yeah, you said the coyotes work right around this shit, Plug. Yeah, Top Cat, we know that they're doing tunnels as well. It's a lot of tunnels going on. We actually seen that one instance. What was it? Was it in Arizona where the law enforcement worked with the cartel to build that damn tunnel?
They've ever made.
Allegedly.
But the stock market's the highest. How is John Deere stock doing, Greg? All-time high? It's all-time. Everyone, I don't have to even ask the question. I mean, I made a lot of people rich. Me, I just keep working. I made a lot of people rich. I made a lot of people rich that I don't even like. I got a lot of people that I don't like at all, and I've doubled their net worth. But after 4 years in which Biden got less than $1 trillion in new investment, think of it. He took in substantially less in 4 years than $1 trillion. We secured commitments for a record-breaking plus 18 trillion. So in 1 year, we did over 18 trillion, and he did less than 1 trillion. Just over 1 year ago, under Sleepy Joe Biden and the radical left lunatics, we were a dead country. I tell you, 1 year ago, a little more than 1 year ago, we were a dead country. The king of Saudi Arabia told me that. You've heard me say it. He said it better than anybody else. He said, I can't believe it. A few months ago, he said a year ago you were a dead country. Now you're the hottest country anywhere in the world. He said, I can't believe it. And today I'm pleased to announce one more historic investment. The great American company that we just talked about is doing so much. I have to give it really. I buy so much equipment from so many of the...
All right, Chad. I can't see that. I was looking for A-Dub's comment. I don't know why I'm not seeing A-Dub's comment. I see Miss Bones replying to A-Dub's, but I can't see A-Dub's damn comment. Mr. Paramedic says, in climbing at night works, crossings wouldn't be a zero. Yeah, they're saying it's at net zero. I don't know if they're saying actually nobody's coming across the border, but they're saying compared to before, it's net zero. So I'm pretty sure some people are still getting in some kind of way. They just shot a guy. That's what it was. I have the press conference. They just shot a guy in Arizona today that was smuggling something across the border. Border Patrol had an incident today, actually, at the southern border in Arizona where they ended up shooting that guy that was trying to smuggle.
The people in the, we have a lot of very successful companies in here.
All right, Gino.
But I know it's a very special deal because John Deere is doing $70 million in.
We're going to watch a little bit of this, Gino. We ain't going to watch the whole speech, man, but we're going to do the panel here in a second. We're going to open up the panel. What time is it? Yeah, we'll probably watch this about another 25-30 minutes, man. Then we'll open up the panel, and we'll have conversations or a little debate.
Factory in North Carolina is brand new, the best in the world, and I think it's going to pay off very, very big. And if it doesn't, I have nothing to do with it, but if it does, I'm going to take full credit. But
you said net zero would mean the same as many as going as being deported. True, that is true, but they're not giving us the deportation numbers. They're saying that not that many people are being deported. Most of the people, they're saying so many people, millions have self-deported, but when we look at the actual deportation numbers, it's not a lot. We see these motherfuckers in camps, if you want to be honest. They got the red, blue, and different color shit on. I mean, no.
What it is an excavator factory, as I understand it, and it's going to be the only excavator factory. In other words, excavators. We all know I love those excavators. Believe it or not, I know a lot about them. We don't make them here. This is going to be the only excavator entirely made in the United States of America. So that's good. I love it. I love it. It's great. And they'll all come. I hate to tell you, but they're all going to be coming too. You're going to have some competition.
What it do, Leo?
If congressional Democrats had their way this year, would right now be facing the largest tax hike.
Chat, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. A lot of you guys forget. I need y'all to start subscribing.
So they wanted to give you, this is what I was running against, the largest tax hike in the history of our country.
Mr. Paramedic said 1.6 million self-deported, 600K removed by ICE. I don't know. I haven't checked that ICE number. I know like a month, maybe a month and a half ago, it was like a little over 300K. So if it's 600K, I'm gonna have to see that, man. But yeah, they did say well over a million have self-deported. So 1.6 sounds about right. Some people, I think Kristi Noem might have said over 2 million at one time. I think. Don't quote me.
I wanted to give you the largest tax cut in the history of our country. And if they won, this country would be cratering right now.
Y'all know they self-deported the guy that supposedly pulled off the largest heist in American history. They supposedly pulled off the $100 million heist. He chose to self-deport, and they fucked around and let him self-deport. Gave him $1,000 to $3,000 to go the fuck back home after he just pulled off the biggest heist in history. He was a suspect. Thank you, Gino.
So I've cut a record number of job-killing regulations. The reason our job numbers are so good, and remember this, I've cut hundreds of thousands of federal jobs. Now, if I didn't do that, our numbers would be even more through the roof. Or I could get them. You know what they do? In order to have decent numbers, they hire 1 million people. You hire 1 million people, all of a sudden you're down to 3.5%. We don't do that. We get rid of that.
How do y'all feel about Trump saying that they're floating the idea that if you graduate college, you get a green card? They're also floating the, you remember Trump said he wanted 600,000 Chinese students over here, man. How do y'all feel about Trump? Y'all are saying deport them all, right? Deport them all. How do y'all feel about Trump saying he want 600,000 Chinese students to come over here, man? Just ask.
Job. We have 10 jobs for every, you have 10 people for every job. And they are all now, and they hated me. They hated me. Now they love me. You know why? They all got jobs in the private sector making twice as much money as they made from the federal government, sometimes much more than that. So a year ago they hated me and now they love me. But it includes dozens of burdensome regulations that were crushing our amazing farmers. We love our farmers. We won this thing. I think.
Damn, what the fuck wrong? It ain't no way they did that. Chat, you remember when they was kids, they used to say that shit was like programmed and it was supposed to be doing something else. I haven't seen that shit since I watched regular TV, man. What the fuck is going on? This is a YouTube live, bruh. The fuck, bro? Oh, hell no.
How about that? What about that? That's pretty good, right?
The fuck is going
Nobody's
on?
ever seen that. You know, if you slash your trade deficit by 1%, you're like a genius. They say, oh, he's very electable. He's not so electable. I did 77. I did something else, favored nations on drugs. We now are paying the lowest price anywhere in the world for drugs. In other words, matching favored nations. It's called most favored nations. Every other president tried for it.
Man, he need to put prescription in front of that shit. I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. Saying that we paying the lowest price for drugs is crazy, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Especially after we kidnapped Maduro. After we kidnapped Maduro, man, saying we got the lowest prices on drugs is crazy, bro. We gotta put prescription in front of that bulletproof. You gotta say prescription, man.
They didn't try very hard. They didn't get anything. I got it done. I got all the nations to agree. You think that was easy? I said, if you don't agree, we're going to put tariffs on you. They said, we agree. We agree. So you'll have a pill that costs $10, as an example, costs $10 in London, costs $130 in Des Moines, and now it's going to cost $20. Think of it. You'll go from $130 down to, it's the biggest price reduction of prescription drugs in history, and going to have a huge impact on your health care too. I was very proud of it. And you know, the fake news, I can't get them to talk about it. Think of it, I got the biggest price reduction in history on drugs, pharmaceuticals. I can't get these guys to talk about it. It was page like 22 in the New York Times, a little story. I just got the biggest, I can't believe it. If a Democrat...
So is this across the board? When he says the $130 goes to $20, is this for certain prescriptions or is this like across the board, percentage drop?
Half a point down. This is like hundreds of, depending on the way you want to calculate it. You could say it's an 80% reduction, or you could say it's 1,000% reduction. You could say whatever you want, but it's the biggest reduction in history by many, many times. I did something because we were subsidizing the entire world. We were paying 10 times, in many cases, more money than the rest of the world. And I said it wasn't fair. And I got it done. And everyone said you did. They said, you'll never get other countries to agree. They said, yeah. I said, yes, I will. They said, you'll never get the other countries to agree. I got the drug companies. That was not easy, I want to tell you, but that was not so bad. But they even told me, we'll agree to it, but you'll never get the other countries. I said, 100% I will. Why wouldn't I get them? And I called Macron of France. I said, you got to double the price of your drugs. He said, no, I will not do that. What was the story with his glasses the other day? What the hell was that all about? But anyway, but I got them all. I don't want to go into a lawsuit. Bottom line, I said, I'm going to increase tariffs by 25. I'm going to charge you 25% tariff if you don't do it. They said,
man, I'm going to tell y'all, I think Macron got up there with those glasses because he was high as fuck. It's just my opinion. I think Macron was on so much fucking below that he knew better than to get up there with his eyes just regular, man. So he was stunning shaded the fuck out in Davos, man. He was in Davos playing in the fucking snow, man. I think he was high. That's my opinion.
We will do it. We would. Why don't you ask? We'd love to do it.
Him and Maloney.
So I got something done that no other president could have gotten done, and no other president. I don't even think they tried. You want to know the truth? You think Biden was thinking about it? He just was thinking about how the hell to get off the stage.
Y'all saying he has an eye condition? I didn't know he had an eye condition. My bad, Macron. I thought you was just high as fuck.
Remember, the guy could never find it. You have so many ways. You can jump off the front if it really gets... You got stairs all over the place. The guy could never find his way off the stage. This was not a good sign. But I made new fair trade deals with countries covering half of all U.S. trade. You do know they're paid agitators, right? They're paid. They get paid. You ever see their signs? You know, we used to have protests and you'd have guys making a sign in a basement. These are all paid agitators. That's all they are. They get paid to go and they don't even know what, when they interview them, why are you here? I don't know. They have no idea. They're paid insurrectionists, really, in some cases. They're sickos. But I've made new fair trade deals with countries covering half of all U.S. trade.
Y'all see now, I think they're investigating a couple people now. Y'all see how he just threw that out there. I think they're paid insurrectionists. Y'all gotta listen to the verbiage, man. They're not saying this shit for no reason. Insurrectionists, you know what comes with insurrection, right? Paid insurrectionists comes with a motherfucking RICO.
Trade scoring giant wins for the farmers, ranchers, and agricultural producers like no other president has ever done. That's why I got such a tremendous vote from the farmers, and I love you too. I do love you too. So Japan will now allow the United States to supply up to 100% of automotive ethanol, and import large amounts of aviation biofuels from the United States. That's great for you. That was part of the deal that we made. The United Kingdom will import nearly $1 billion of ethanol. That's part of their deal. Australia is a...
Well, the EU and India just locked in the largest free trade deal in their history. The largest free trade deal in their history.
American beef into its market for the first time in more than 20 years. Did you know that? And beef is doing great, and we got to get the prices down a little bit, and they're starting to come down pretty much. China has agreed to purchase over $40 billion of U.S.-grown soybeans. You know that. You're selling them. They're selling them. And I went to President Xi, and he's upping it. I mean, it's $40 billion. The European Union will dramatically increase purchases of American pork, dairy, and soybean oil. They never.
I watched that clip earlier about Ilhan Omar's wine company. I seen the clip, man, where they did the financials from like 15,000 to 5 million in 1 year, and no actual physical location. I looked it up. I mean, I didn't look it up, but I seen the clip of it.
That before, they're all doing things that they never did before because you have a certain.
Yeah, I also seen where Benny Johnson was talking about her husband. You know, a lot of people were mad at him saying it was a sham company or some shit, allegedly.
President that's a little bit different from the presidency he had before. And nations from Cambodia to Thailand to the Philippines and Indonesia are eliminating all trade barriers to agricultural products. Your agricultural products had trade barriers that didn't allow them to be sold in countries that are now saying, oh, please, we'd love to accept your product. So that's great. It's going to be, you're going to see it starting to kick in now for the farmers. And to further help our farmers recover from the really a catastrophe of the Biden years. What a period of years. We had a country that was just dead.
Did y'all see Google just settled, I think, a $68 million lawsuit for listening to us without saying hey Google or anything, or like kind of like Apple did the Hey Siri? Like, that's how you get those targeted ads when you like, damn, I was just whispering or talking to somebody about something. I wasn't even, didn't even search it. Well, Google just settled a $68 million lawsuit for that, where they did not have to admit guilt. They did not have to admit that they were guilty.
Dead. We had a country that was just not respected by anybody. We had a guy who didn't know where the hell he was. Do you think he worried about his farmer at night? No. He just wanted to go to sleep. This is what we had. This is what we had in our fake election. We recently issued $12 billion.
Listen to what he keeps saying. Fake election. Pam Bodney just requested the voter data from Minnesota. The 2 Doge employees just got caught trying to sell all the voter data from the Social Security Administration to a third-party company. They're about to try to use this shit to get this man a third term. For real, chat. I didn't believe it at first. I was one of those people. I was like, man, nah, man, it ain't. But they're trying to keep that option on the table. Whether he's going to be able to do it or not is yet to be determined. But they're trying to put the fucking option on the table, man.
Dollars in farm relief. We gave them because you were screwed by other countries. I said, how much is the number? To our great Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins. She's doing a great job. I said, Brooke, what's the number? And she said $12 billion, and I wrote a check for $12 billion because we have so much money from the tariffs coming in. So you couldn't have done that before. We're a rich country now. I hope we win that Supreme Court case. You know, we have people that are China-oriented, people from literally that very China-oriented and foreign country-oriented trying to stop that. But we'll get it done one way or the other. We're going to do, if we have to do it a different way, we'll do it. But we're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. We're doing amazing. Nobody can even believe it. Foreign countries cannot believe what's happened. But it won't work. But I'm all.
Chat, double tap the screen. We need to get 20 subscribers right quick. Can we get 20 quick subscribers? We go live every single day here, talking politics, entertainment, and current events. Just come hang out with us. I see you said, do you need to do you have to put in a claim to receive this Google settlement? I'm almost sure it will be a class action settlement. You got to do your own research. I don't really know, but I'm almost certain it will be a class action to where you have to put in a claim.
Also working hard to expand your markets domestically and in the campaign. I promise to support E15 all year round.
So what they're saying is E15 is I guess the gas where they're gonna let I guess between certain months of the year you're not able to purchase it in 36 states, but he's gonna let it go year round all 50 states. So they're supposed to increase our corn output. It's supposed to increase our corn output.
Should I do it, Kaufman? Should I do it? I did. I promised E15 all year round if I get elected. And I want to let you know, and we'll start right now. I was going to put out a statement a week ago. I said, hold it. I'm coming to Iowa to make a speech. I'm not going to put out a truth. I'm not going to put... I want to be there in person to tell them, the people of Iowa, to know that I am trusting Speaker Mike Johnson, who's great, and Leader John.
So if y'all are wondering why Trump is speaking here, he's doing basically an accomplishment tour leading up to the midterms. He's going around and he's trying to remind the Republican base as to why his administration has been successful and that the Republicans should keep the House and the Senate during midterms. That's what he's doing, right? He's only doing battleground states. He's only doing battleground states.
Who's great. That's House and Senate. To find a deal that works, we've got it. For farmers, consumers, and refiners, including small and mid-sized refiners. In other words, to get E15 approved, and they're working on it. They're very close to getting it done. So I just wanted to let you know that. And China will be sending me a bill very shortly supporting year-round E15 to my desk very quickly, and I will sign it without delay. Okay?
Lizard King, I haven't seen anything about that gerrymandering ruling. I'll have to do my research on that. Robert says he succeeded in nothing. Chat, do you think Trump had a successful first year? Put yes in the chat if you do. Put no in the chat if you don't. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content.
I hope you remember us for the midterms. You know, the worst thing about the midterms is the fact that no matter what happens, the people that win the presidency, you win the even if you're a good president. I think we had the best first.
You said why do you 1 minute talk shit about Trump and then turn around and speak truth? It makes no sense. The fuck are you talking about? I'm gonna speak on what I say. Everything that he's talking about, I'm gonna give my thoughts and opinions on how I feel about that particular subject. Like I said before, I don't love Trump. I don't hate Trump. Trump is my president right now, so I'm gonna, do the evaluation as an American citizen. People come in here to hear my thoughts and opinions and hang out with me. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It is what it is. Like, I'm not an ass kisser, and I'm not a fucking hater. I look at everything situation.
President ever, maybe they say. But even if you have it great, it's like in the last 50 years, they've won it twice. Can you believe it? If something happens, there's a screw turns with the voters. So even if it's a Democrat or Republican, whoever wins the presidency has a hard time with the midterm. If we lose the midterms, you'll lose so many of the things that we're talking about, so many of the assets that we're talking about, so many of the tax cuts that we're talking about, and it would lead to very bad things. We got to win the midterms. I mean, I'm here because I love Iowa, but I'm here because we're starting the campaign to win the midterms. We got to win the midterms. That means Senate and it means House. Got to win them. It's crazy. You think it would be like a 50-50 deal or something. It's like, for some reason, and this is Democrat too, Democrat wins the presidency, for some reason they lose the midterms. Now maybe they don't campaign as hard because they've campaigned, I don't know, but I campaign hard. We gotta win the midterms, so remember that you gotta get out.
Yeah, WZI. Mr. Paramedic said he has opinions. He wants to evaluate it unbiased. What kind of question is that? Exactly, Mr. Paramedic. Like I said, I don't care if you're far left, far right, liberal, conservative, Marxist, fascist, alien, NPC. You can come in here and have a conversation, and I will listen. I will rebuttal. I will have a convo. After this, we're gonna open up a panel. I can have 5 other panel guests. We can actually, we can have an actually good debate. We'll get sides from all sides. I have a couple guys that come up here every night, and then we always have new guests. So I don't just get up here and run my mouth and like, hey, just listen to me. No, I take call-ins, and if I don't take call-ins, I open up a panel so we can all talk at once. If I take call-ins, it's just me and the caller on the line. If I open up a panel, it's a few other people.
You got to vote. The midterms are very important. We're gonna really work hard on winning the midterms. We have great candidates. Again, Senate and House. We have great candidates. We got to win them, and we have candidates that rule with common sense, not this craziness. We're not going to be supporting transgender for all.
You said he's going to try to get a third term, then you said whatever in favor of a good midterm. Yeah, because that's what I see happening. I'm not putting my feelings in it or my, emotions into it. I'm just saying what I see happening. I see them gearing up. The rhetoric is there and the motion is there to try to align Trump up for a third term if he sees fit. And I also see that he's on this right now. He's only going to battleground states and he's trying to rally his base, and it's an accomplishment to it. I'm not saying that I just love it. I'm just telling you what he's doing. He's going around right now touting the wins that he had this year, telling the Republicans, hey, make sure you vote Republican midterm. And it's a battleground. I don't know what you mean, man. I don't know.
Men and women's sports, open borders, The worst is open borders because I take care of things, and inflation I had it beat very quickly and all, but this open border thing, it's a lot of work.
They're letting AI make a lot of these, man. What they're doing is they're running these simulations, and they're through AI. Like, how can Trump get a third term? This is my opinion. I don't know for sure. My opinion. They're running AI on a lot of these initiatives, a lot of these things that they want to get accomplished. They're running it through the AI, and the AI is giving them the best foot forward, the best path forward. And there are things that have to get checked off of that motherfucking list before it could be a viable option. That's why we see these things going on. That's why we see Pam Bondi requesting voter data. That's why we see the Doge employees stealing the Social Security Administration voter data to sell it to a third party. That's why we see the lady get up there and say that we found the way for Trump to get a third term and she has 250 million behind it. That's why they keep saying this election was fake and the election was fake and the results were fake. Trump has never once admitted to the election being real. That's one reason he couldn't go to jail for it, because he's kept the same tune. They're about to try to use that shit, man, and if that doesn't work, they're gearing up for insurrection. It's layers to this shit, man. It's layers to this shit. If they got a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. Plan A is this motherfucking voter data shit. Plan B, insurrection. Plan C, run Trump Jr. on the motherfucking ticket with somebody. It is what it is.
Taking criminals in that they allowed into our country where the jails are opened up. Remember the jails, the prisons all over, from all over the world they're opened up. The Congo, all over South America, Venezuela, they opened up their jails. We got to get them out. I mean, it's really, really, we can never forget what that group of morons did to this country. We can never forget. And we've got to win the midterms. That's why we've got to win the midterms. As we bring trillions of dollars pouring into our country from overseas, we're also making America affordable again, a problem caused totally by the crooked Joe Biden administration. I mean, you know, I inherited this problem. They say, prices are too high. I just took over. They said, I'll never forget, I come here, I'm in 3 days, I have a news conference, 3 days into my administration. What about the price of eggs? They've gone up like 5 times more. I said, I just got here, I didn't know about it. I'm sorry. And we got eggs down very quickly, remember? But I was standing there, I'm so happy, I just won them. I thought the press was going to be so nice. And some lunatic, right there actually. What about the price of eggs?
You said, do I think him losing the midterms is going to be good for the country? I mean, honestly, it wouldn't matter. They say most presidents do lose the midterms after the party that wins the presidency loses the midterms. So they're already doing, some PR for the soft landing. They're getting ready to, if they do lose the midterms, we've already heard it. Oh, that's why every time we hear Trump sit down it's crazy that every time the president wins, the midterms, they lose. It's crazy. I never knew that happened. They're softening the blow already, man. So it's a very good possibility. But do I think it's bad for the country if the Republicans lose the midterms? No. This shit is checks and balances. That's what the fuck is supposed to go on, man. If they win, they win. If they lose, man. Checks and balances, man. We don't need anything to be a cakewalk, man. Nothing should be a cakewalk, man. People gotta get out there, voice their opinions, vote. We gotta make these politicians earn our vote, man. What the fuck are you gonna do for us, man? We keep just putting people in these positions to make these decisions for us, and we get left holding the fucking bag every time. It's crazy. So no, I don't think it was necessarily bad for the country or good for the country. It's time to start getting some shit in return.
Eggs have gone up. I said, no. Tell me, give me a little, because I don't know. I just got here, I'm sorry. But I fixed it. Now I fixed it pretty much all, but it's going to go down even further. No, but they caused the problem. And then they came up, it's a...
And you said you personally should be in Afri-6. What the fuck is Afri-6? I know you're not saying Africa.
Word that they came up with, affordability. Every time you hear the word, remember, they're the ones that caused the problem. And the first time you heard about it was like a few months ago. This election's all about affordability. Well, they're the ones that caused the problem. But nobody knows that. People forget. So they say, affordability, let's vote for the Democrats. It's no, affordability. They caused a tremendous price increases. It was caused by the worst inflation we've ever had. And they come up with this word, affordability. And I saw it although you're not hearing it so much anymore. You know why? Because the prices are coming down so much. They don't want it to be an election based on lower price.
You said, as a black person, don't you think all the money that's been for fraud, the taxpayer could go to black people? Like, it's your right that the money should go to you. If we're gonna say that, if that shit became a conversation when the Somali fraud came, and I don't like shit like that, because white people been committing municipal fraud for decades. Black people was the face of PPP. The Italians got them damn pizza shops, and we know what's going on in them motherfuckers. We got all kind of fraud going on. We got the Africans doing the damn Nigerian Prince scam. We got the Indians calling, talking about your damn car insurance is past due or your extended warranty. It's time to renew that motherfucker. So yeah, if we're gonna say that, we should have been got that shit, man. Why wait till the Somalis do some shit to start talking about it?
But we're bringing down the lower, I like that term better, it's the lower prices, we're bringing them down. But we inherited the highest prices in the history of our country, and we've rapidly brought them down. And that's what we want to do. Did you ever see them where they're being interviewed? This will be an election on affordability. And I say, but they never talk about it after. That's all they say. They just say affordability, but they never do anything, Mr. Chairman, right? They never say, they don't talk about what do they mean. So everyone says, you know, look, you people are doing a lot of things. You're not into politics that much, although you like it, you like Trump, but you're not into politics. But you're not going to go back and examine. All you know is, oh, therefore I guess that means they did a good job. They almost destroyed our country. They were pricing you out. When gasoline's at $4.50 and now it's at $1.
Amy, who lying? Are you talking about I'm lying, Amy, or are you saying Trump lying?
It's cold. You know, I'm saying $1.99 today in Iowa. I was told that it was $1.85 it hit a gallon in Iowa. And you know, that's like a massive tax cut. That's actually like a massive tax cut. So the Biden nightmare cost a typical American family $34,000 in 4 years, but after 1 year of Trump, real wages are already up more than $2,000. Think of it, that's a $5,000 swing, much faster. Wages have gone up much faster. Think of this than inflation. With him, it was just the opposite. Wages in the United States in the last year have gone up. And remember, the first part of the year, actually you could say almost the first year, I was fixing the country from the horror show that we inherited. Grocery prices, airfares, hotels, car payments, and rent prices have all come down, and they've come down very fast. And
what's crazy is, like, I posted like $2 billion worth of fraud that Trump pardoned, bro. Like, Biden pardoned a lot of fucking fraud too. It's just crazy that now that it's the damn Somalis, bro, and they look a little different, that everybody's in a fucking uproar. To me, yeah, fuck it, it's fraud. You know what I'm saying? If they did some shit, man, it is what it is. They caught they lick, they gotta take they lick. But to just to clutch my pearls about this shit is fucking crazy, bro. Like, we just seen $2 billion worth of fraud pardon. Where the fuck were y'all at, man? We just seen $2 billion worth of fraud pardon. Biden pardoned a lot of fucking fraud too, man. I'm talking about people buying championship horses and big ass ranches. Motherfuckers buying diamond rings and shit. Like, where the fuck were y'all at?
Thanks to our tax cuts, millions of Americans will soon receive record-setting tax refunds, an average of more than $1,000. Think of that. $1,000 compared to last year. One cuts, and that number goes up exponentially over the course of 4 years. So it's amazing. It's called the Great Big Beautiful Bill. You know, one other thing that you get that I thought was so great, I came up with it. You know, very rich people get deductions. Middle income people don't get deductions. They don't have to. I said, why is it that when a rich person buys something, they get a deduction on interest, but when somebody that's working like hell, they don't get it if they want to buy a car? And I said, why can't somebody buying a car in America, only if it's made in America, if it's made in some other country, we have no interest. So I got it approved in the great big beautiful bill. You get a full tax deduction against your income tax. You get a
Thank
full
you,
tax
Jody.
deduction. Think of it, if you purchase a car in America, if you borrow money, the interest that you're paying on that borrowed money is a full deduction for your tax purposes. And that's a tremendous deal. And you know what? It's also great for the car companies, because the car companies are going to be making a lot more cars that they couldn't believe it, and I got it passed. So just remember me as you take those deductions, please. The king of deductions. No, but it was always unfair the way a lot of people...
Listen to the rhetoric, man.
The way a lot of people got treated. You take that deduction. One of those who will be seeing a big benefit thanks to our tax cuts is Erica Peralta. Where's Erica? Is she here? Erica?
You said you want to know where all the convictions is from this fraud shit. Only the white woman really got arrested. That's the thing, man. Everybody talking about the Somali fraud, but Karen put their ass onto it, man. Watch everybody lead the chat when I say that. Karen put their ass on that fraud, man, and they didn't fuck with the black folks, so that's why black folks wasn't doing it.
Where is Erica? Where is she? Oh, she's so beautiful. I'm not allowed to say that anymore. If I say a woman is beautiful, that's the end of your political career, you know. But she is beautiful. How are you? Congratulations. What a good story. She's the general manager at Whiskey River Bar in Ankeny, Iowa, which, as you know, I visited strongly a couple of times in the campaign. And Erica's been able to hire many new employees, and they're each going to be taking home thousands and thousands of dollars extra because of the no tax or tips. And she's got a lot more people wanting to work for her, too, because of that no tax or tips. That's just one of many. How's that working out, Erica? Good? You want to come up and say a few words? Come on up, Erica. You want to come on up? Very important to me, more important to me, is, you know, people have become rich by owning their home. We're going to keep them nice and rich. Is that okay? You know, nobody... I'll bet you've never heard that.
That means home prices are not fucking coming down. That means that they're going to try to manufacture this shit to keep home prices high as fuck so their wealth can stay tied to it, man. 50-year mortgages, welcome in.
That before, right? But people own a home, and for the first time, their home interest said, we're not going to bring that price down. I want to say, let them be rich. But we're strength.
Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Home prices will stay fucking high, man. Like, let's just kiss the boomers' ass, you know. Fuck Gen Z. Fuck Gen Z. Fuck the millennials, you know. Just fuck them all, you know. We gotta keep the boomers rich. They got 5, 10, and 12 houses. Little Susie Beth and Johnny Boy that just got married out of high school, fuck them. Let's make them get a 50-year mortgage, man, so they're forever renters. They fuck up one time, get in some hard time, we'll come snatch that bad boy back, man. Oh, little Jerome. And Kyrie and them, they'll never own a home because we're gonna make sure that the boomers stay happy, man. This is crazy that he's saying this shit, man. This is crazy that he's saying. I mean, it sounds good. People want to keep their wealth, but to just say that, look, man, if you don't got 500 bands, bro, take your ass to the country. That's what I advise everybody to do, man. Hearing Trump say this, you might as well just go to the fucking country, bro. City living, condo live, all of that shit, man. Or increase your cash flow, man. Motherfuckers is finna have to increase cash flow or relocate to the damn country. Because he just said, man, this shit, he gonna do everything he can to keep home prices high as fuck. It is what it is. What do you mean not true? He just said it. I didn't say it. He said it.
Administration has done more in 12 months than most of the
50-year mortgages. This is why 50-year mortgages are a must.
Administrations achieve in 4 years or 8 years, and we've done a lot. I've recently introduced my plan to repair the damage of the Unaffordable Care Act, the worst disaster which now costs many families more than a mortgage. If you look, the number came out, it's a bigger cost than a mortgage, and it's bad health.
And you want to say you don't have to pay 50 years. Of course, you don't got to pay it fucking all. You can just rent, man, or get it, live in your van, camper, whatever you want to do, man. You don't got to pay it all. Of course, you don't have to pay for 50 years. But guess what? People are signing up for 50-year mortgages because they fucking need them, man. Did you not just see, man? We're talking about they're not gonna do any more subprime lending. Well, didn't they just drop the needed credit score to like 580? Didn't they go from the 640? Now it's like a 580. It's smelling a lot like 2008 to me. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Smelling a lot like 2008, man. 50-year mortgages. Oh my God, bro.
Obamacare was created to make insurance companies rich with government subsidies. I want all that money that gets paid to the insurance companies to get paid directly to the people. That's all I want. So that you can buy better health care at a lower cost. The problem is the Democrats don't want to do that because they are owned by the insurance companies. So they say, oh, we don't want to do that. I want the money to be paid to the people to go out and buy their own health care. You'll buy much better health care. You have a lot of money left over. And I'm also making it a lot easier to buy a thing called the house, the American dream. Last week I signed an executive order to ban Wall Street and large institutional investors.
Now that was a W. For him signing the thing in where Wall Street and institutional investors can't buy houses, that's a fucking W, Trump. We're going to give the wins where they're warranted.
I'm buying up all the single-family homes in America because we don't want America to become a nation of renters, and that's what they forced happen. I mean, you have these companies,
You said we needed a 2008. When you open up the panel, I'll come up and explain. It's too complicated to do in a super. Okay, Mr. Paramedic, you jot you down some notes so you don't forget your points, man, because I really want to understand.
5,000 houses, 20,000. One has hundreds of thousands of houses. We don't want that. We want people to be able to...
We still have the commercial real estate bubble, man. We still have, what, over $1 trillion worth of loans set to come due over the course of this next year?
Houses. At the same time...
I'm talking about, I seen some crazy shit. Like a building in Dallas that sold during the pandemic, man, like 2021, that bad boy sold for like $111 million. It just went at auction for like $10 million, bro. Like... What? We talking about it's finna get fucked up, G. They're kicking the can down the road, man. This is a house of cards.
I want to keep the value of the house.
I'm cool that I live in, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers be in the country, bro.
Very high of those people who already own a house. We're not forgetting about them because they don't necessarily match those two things. You know, we get the prices down. Well, what does that do? Very important to me, more important to me, is, you know...
Hell yeah, I remember 2008, man. I wasn't just grown or nothing, but I remember 2008. Job security was a big thing. Right now, motherfuckers not getting really good jobs. You know, motherfuckers not getting... These jobs that they're touting are second and third jobs. People driving Uber, doing delivery drivers and shit like that, picking up substitute teacherships and shit, man. These jobs that people are touting, man, is not... It's not what it's cracked up to be, man. Then we get to talking about people losing houses. Yes, man. Yes. They're talking about 50-year mortgages and fucking 580 to get in. Yes, I do remember 2008, man. It was fucked up out here. 2008, man. Everything was high. Shit was
people
high as fuck.
Become rich by owning their home. We're going to keep them nice and rich. Is that okay? You know, nobody... I'll bet you've never heard that before, right? But people own a home, and for the first time, their home interest said, we're not going to bring that price down. I want to say...
Hell yeah, they was laying people to fuck off around 2008, man. I remember my dad, the place where my pops worked, man, they let like a third of their people go. Then they ended up shutting down the fucking plant. Like right around that 2008, man, they shut that motherfucker down. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
They let them be rich. But we're strengthening Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac that you've heard about, and in the last 12 months, those institutions have supported over 22,000 Iowa families in purchasing or refinancing and saved.
You said, I know what I said sounds shorty. I think you meant shitty, but I promise it will make sense. All right, Mr. Paramedic, appreciate you for the super chat.
Over 3,000 Iowa families from losing their homes. We've come out and really helped a lot of people keep your home. And despite a bad Fed chairman, a guy that has no, we call him too late. He's too late. Jerome Too Late Powell. He's too late. He wasn't too late before the Democrats won the election. Then he was too early. But he wants to keep.
You said you live in one of the poorest counties in the states, and you just got a job for $19.87 an hour with no degree, no experience. Congratulations on your new job, ma'am. Many blessings and much success to you.
Rates as high as possible. Despite that, we've driven rates down. You know, when you're really good, you can get them down despite everything, because ultimately, it just sort of follows nature. Mortgage interest rates are now at the lowest level in 3 years, and new mortgage applications are up 30%. By the way, when we have a great Fed chairman, I think we're going to have one. I'll announce it pretty soon. You'll see rates come down a lot. And refinancings are up 100% compared to the end of the Biden term. Up 100%. We're also working tirelessly to bring back a thing called law and order. You know, there was a time.
That shit sound
There was a
dangerous.
time that you weren't allowed to use the words law and order. I like that guy. You weren't allowed to use the term law and order. You weren't allowed to use the term Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody, right? Remember that 2016 I ran on, we're going to bring back Christmas. We did. Now they're afraid to suggest it, but we brought that back. But law and order, we need law and order. And we have the lowest crime rate now in the history of our country. That's good, but we'll do even better. And as everyone is aware, we've totally and completely closed the southern border with little fanfare, but tremendous success. With the southern border is closed, nobody's coming in. That's right, nobody is able to come into a country except for those that come in legally. We want to have people come in legally. We need people to come in legally, but they have to show that they can love our country, not hate our country. They have to show that they're not going to blow up our shopping centers, blow up our farms, kill people. They're coming in legally, but they cannot come in unless they come in legally into our country, and we're letting some great people come in. They have to show that they can love our country. They have to be proud. Not like Ilhan Omar. Did you see that wise guy? You know, she's always talking about the Constitution, you know, provides me with the following. You know, the Constitution, she comes from a country that's a disaster. It's considered, I think, it's not even a country. Okay? It barely has a government. I don't think it does. They go to one thing, pirates. But they don't do that anymore. You know why? Because they get the same treatment from us as the drug dealers get. Boom, boom, boom.
Shit's cold.
I don't care what ship they're attacking. When they attack, when we see them going in, ping, that's the end of them. It's amazing. You know, I don't know if you know, drugs coming in by water is down 97%. And we're trying to find out who the other 3% is, because we consider them the bravest people in the world. Who the hell are the 3%? But it's down 97%. And now we're taking them down on the land. The land is much easier than the sea. You had to do the sea first, but the sea is done. We haven't exactly helped the luxury fishing business, I would say. Would you like to go fishing? No, thank you. Let's go deep sea fishing today. Let's go on a little boat deep sea fishing. Sorry about that. But it's down 97%. We've done a job. I'll tell you, we've made our country respected again. The greatest military. We have the greatest military in the world. You know, I rebuilt our military in our first term. And we have the greatest military in the world. So you read much about Minnesota, where, unbeknownst to the public, we have brought down crime very substantially in Minnesota. We've taken out thousands of hard criminals, hardened, vicious, horrible criminals. You don't read about things like Washington, D.C., where there is virtually no crime, and it was horrible a year and a half ago. Memphis, Tennessee, which was a real disaster, and now it's down. Crime has dropped by 78% in the last 2 months. New Orleans, Louisiana, I was asked by the governor of Louisiana to help them with New Orleans. It was a disaster, and crime is down 54% in about 3 weeks. You don't read about that. And we've done all of this by taking thousands of criminals out of these states. We took over 2,000 people out of Washington, D.C. These were criminals. You know, if you remember, about 2% of the population, it's a very simple business. 2% of the population causes 90% of the crime.
Here we go.
So when you start decimating that 2%, boom, that's why we have to, it's an amazing number when you think. It's just crime over and over and over. 2% creates 90% of the crime. Isn't that amazing? Not that complicated, is it? In 1 year, we've achieved the largest drop in the murder rate in the history of our country. Drug overdose deaths are down by 21%, the largest drop ever recorded. We got to do better than that. And I've designated the drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Big deal. And despite the strong efforts of the fake news media, we are starting to see the historic success reflected in tremendous polls. We have great polls. In last week's Rasmussen poll, we're leading among Hispanic voters. We're leading by a lot. Nobody's ever seen a Republican lead among Hispanic voters. You know, Hispanic voters don't want crime. People don't listen. Hispanic voters want strong borders because they know what's coming in and they don't want them. They're great. They've been great. We did so great in the election with Hispanic voters. We did so great with black men. We did so great with white everything.
I thought they said 94% of black men voted for Kamala, like 92%. It was in the 90%, I believe.
In yesterday's RMG poll, a clear majority of Americans support our deportation policies by a margin of 10%. Now, I don't know why 10%, because I don't think it's even, I mean, wouldn't you say like 100%? Who the hell would be against? Maybe somebody that hates our country. In a recent Harvard-Harris poll found that 80% of Americans support our unprecedented operation to deport criminal aliens. In other words, 80%, that's more like it, of the people support our operation to remove really dangerous, bad people out of our country. And in a Reuters poll that just came out, Republicans are leading on the economy by a lot and leading on immigration by a lot, and the crime, they're leading by a real lot, by almost 20 points. And in real clear politics average net approval, the Republican Party is more than 10 points more popular than Democrats.
It was 78%. I just went and looked. It wasn't 90%. It was 78%. So I guess Trump did do good with black men. You know, 78% voted for Kamala, so that's 22% for Trump. He did do good on black men.
And I don't even understand that. How can 10 points is considered a lot? But to me, I mean, how is it 10 points when we've done all these things? They've done only destroying our country. They would destroy. I'm telling you, if Kamala won, or any of them, I think Gavin Newsom is worse because, I mean, he's destroyed California. If they win, that group, that ideology wins, you will be Venezuela on steroids. And I've said it for years. And you know what? They will destroy our country. The country would have been destroyed already. We're fully rebuilding the U.S. military with more than $1 trillion we're spending on the military. And in June, we obliterated Iran's nuclear capacity in Operation Midnight Hammer. You saw that?
Yeah, that's going to start the Trump class. It's supposed to restore American maritime dominance. It's supposed to do the AI, bring us up to speed with AI, It's going to be a pay increase for the soldiers. They're talking about bringing campus-style dining and also Wi-Fi to the barracks with this $1 trillion pay package.
People have been waiting for 22 years to do that, and we were right at the end. They were about a month away from having a nuclear weapon. We had to do it. And by the way, there's another beautiful armada floating beautifully toward Iran right now. So we'll see. I hope they make a deal. I hope they make a deal. They should have made a deal the first time they'd have a country. And just weeks ago, in a spectacular operation in Venezuela, we brought the outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to face American justice. In one of the most brilliant, lethal, quick, they've never seen violent operations ever seen, military operations ever seen. Nobody was killed. Not on their side, a lot of people. Unfortunately, I have to say a lot. We went into a very big, powerful military base with a group of unbelievable, talented, patriotic people that love our country. You couldn't hold them back. You know, the weather was off for 3 nights. It was not good, so I delayed it. The next night it was okay, but not great. I said, General, listen, sir, they're ready to go, sir, they're okay. I said, but the weather's a little bad. I said, sir, they're ready to go. I said, God bless you, General. And boy, did they do a job. Joe Biden and his allies, in conclusion, in Congress did everything they could to destroy our country, but they failed. And today, after just 1 year since my second inauguration, you know, we have a new hat. It's called America is Back. America is back. Our border is secure. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is stopped. Incomes are up. Prices are down. Our economy is roaring. Our workers are thriving. And our country is winning again, winning like never before. We've never had a period of time like this. We've never had a period of time.
Trump, I'm going to be honest with you. You might be front running this shit, big dog. Bulletproof. I'm boots on the ground right now, and this shit that you just said, it ain't happened yet. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I think you might be front running that shit, man.
I just left a great group of people from Iowa, and half of them were crying as they talked to me. I don't think they were crying because I'm doing a bad job. You know, in theory, you cry if you do a bad. They would cry because I've done a good job. Yes, sir. They said, sir, you brought our country back. Crying. One woman was fantastic. She grabbed me and she put her head right there, and her tears are pouring all over my beautiful suit. I figured I'd get it. And I checked it out, and there was a lot of makeup all over. I said, what the hell am I going to do? I could get myself in trouble. No, but she was crying, and I said, don't cry, be happy. Be happy. With the help of the incredible people of Iowa, we're repairing 4 long years of disaster and decline, and we're beginning what will be known as the greatest years in the history of our country. I believe that, too. We are entering a period that will be called the Golden Age of America. That's what's happening. So together with all of you, and you were with me from the beginning, all 3 times we won by a lot. I don't know if you remember, but before I got involved, this was really a Democrat state. You know that. I don't want to bring it up. And then I came along, and it wasn't a Democrat very long, and our great chairman did such a good job. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, you could do anything. I've offered him, come to Washington to get him. But he likes it. He just doesn't want to leave. I think he just wants to stay in Iowa. I don't blame you. But you are fantastic. But we won all 3 times by a lot. But this used to, until we came along, this used to be a Democrat state, and then we turned it. Barack Hussein Obama, have you heard of him? He won both times, didn't he win both? He won twice, you know. Barack Hussein Obama, wonderful president, really brought people together, didn't he? But Barack Obama won twice, you know. And so everyone said, well, Iowa, you know, they had this down as not winnable. And we won in a landslide. 3 times we won in a landslide. So. Together with all of you, the citizens from all across this incredible, beautiful land, we will make America powerful again. Oh, we've done it. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. That's happening. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And most importantly, we will make America great again.
Oh, why did they cut it off? Oh, that was the end of the damn thing, chat. Hold on. Hold on, chat. I'm pulling my camera back up, man. Alright. Alright, chat. That was the end of Trump's speech. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up the panel. If you head over to my community tab wall right now, if you head over to the community tab wall right now, the link is on the community tab wall and on Debate Nation. We will be live on the Debate Nation channel, and we will be restreaming it to this channel right here. So if you want better audio, head over to Debate Nation with 2 N's at the end. Debate Nation. If you just want to hang out here in the chat, then you can stay right here and you'll be locked right in. I'll get y'all right into it. Debate Nation is the live stream. We are live on Debate Nation right now. We are live on Debate Nation right now. If y'all want to get over there to Debate Nation, we are live over there. Let me get us here. Share, boom. Alright, we're going to wait for some people to load up. We're going to have a conversation. Attack on the Second Amendment, housing crisis, and should Trump get a 3rd term? Should Trump get a 3rd term? Those are going to be what we talk about today. Give me 1 second to get this together, chat. Give me 1 second. Alright, we got Mr. Paramedic coming to the stage. Give me 1 second, Mr. Paramedic, to get this together. Alright, boom, right here. Give me 1 second to get this together, Mr. Paramedic. So we don't have to mess with it again. Alright, chat, we over here on Debate Nation and we are restreaming to Plug Station. Mr. Paramedic, I'm gonna give a couple people a little time to get here.
Absolutely.
We do have the link. The link is available. The link is available on the community tab wall. Or if you go to my post, the link is available. Or if you go to Debate Nation, the link is available, man. We're gonna get into this right here. Give me 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me get to what's going on. What's up, XX? Let me get to what's going on. I gotta get to this chat right here. Alright, let me go.
StreamYard's clunky.
Yeah, it is. I like OBS better, but you know, StreamYard is the only way I can really get the panel going right now.
Yeah, it's really good for that.
No, most definitely. Alright.
Oh no.